A-grade oils and batteries. Australian made, locally owned. Thomas Mitchell Drive, Wodonga.
O&M Live on 3NE.
3NE's O&M Live, first quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries, not far away. Good conditions here at Button Park as we lead up to North Albury taking on Wodonga. Panda Escott, Luke Francis, Dan Vaccaro up in the scaffold, the box as we like to call it. Chris Mitchell down on the boundary. Chriso, how conditions out there at Button Park? A little bit muddy in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, it's a little bit muddy. I was just checking out the turf wicket there. It's quite hard, so I don't think it'll cause too much drama for the players, but they'll try and avoid it where they can. But a little bit of a swirly breeze, not sure how that's going to affect it. It's really sort of heading southerly, so you might win the toss and kick to the southern end, I reckon, Panda.
What about other conditions out on the ground apart from that little middle patch there, Chriso?
Conditions are really good. The ground's got great coverage. Obviously, the goal square is a little bit chopped up, but beautiful conditions here at Bunton, and it's nice when the sun comes out, Panda.
Have we had the toss yet, Chriso?
No, we haven't had the toss yet. I was just speaking to Brett Doswell. He was hoping to play twos for Wodonga today against his old mate Pup Brown, but Pup got the call up for the ones, so a bit earlier than expected, I think.
Quite a remarkable story, that one as well, Chriso. I mean, Cade Brown playing for North Albury today, number 45. You'll see him in the gold and pink jersey. Played over 100 games with the club a long time ago. He was a stalwart, then went out to Thaguna, 3 premierships there, coached, and now he's back at his club, Chris. So great to see.
Yeah, great to see. Great player, great guy as well. Hopefully he starts well for the Hoppers.
Who are we looking at on our 40 Winks stat sheet today, please, Dan Vaccaro?
Yeah, we'll go through North Albury first, doing it for 40 Winks. So we'll be taking Julian Hayes' numbers, who's just been in superb form this year, averaging 30 disposals a game. Caden Winter, probably the most underrated midfielder in the league almost, Lukey. He's fantastic.
Who'd you get that mail off, Dan?
28 disposals. None of your business, Panda. And then we're straight out of your mouth.
I thought it was a fair question.
Straight out of your mouth.
No, I like it. Own everything yourself, please, Dan.
Thank you. Timmy Broomhead, who we know who's just been in superb form as well. George Goody and Sam Azai as well. We're taking his numbers. And for Wodonga, Angus Baker goes without saying, 33 disposals per game and 12 contested. Matt Wilson, who's really, really underrated in that Wodonga outfit as well. Josh Matthew, who's just been an absolute bull this season, averages 28 disposals per game. Adam Jorgensen and Jack Yallen playing his 3rd game of the year as well.
We'll cross down to Chriso. The toss happening out there in the middle of the ground. Chriso?
Yeah, the umpire's just about to toss the coin in the air, and I'm not sure who's going to call it. I think it might be George Goody. No, Charlie Morrison's won the toss for Wodonga, kicking to the southern end.
So that's the Logan Road end of Button Park here in North Albury. The Hoppers will kick to the Sports Club. And who are you tipping in this one, Luke Francis?
Yeah, Panda, I'm going to go with the Hoppers. I just think they're a bit sharper at the moment. In recent weeks, they've been pretty good. And as Dan just told us, tell us that stat again, Dan. So the most possessions this year of any team in the O&M, is
number one disposal team.
Disposals, yep.
They average the most disposals per game, 348 disposals.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much in it, Pan. I'm going to go with the Hoppers at home by a goal. What about yourself?
I think North Albury's form warrants their selection. I think Hoppers might be a little bit too quick and might get the job done today, but don't count Wodonga out. I mean, they're 5-3 and they have been a serious team in the SSNA Ovens and Murray this year. They deserve to be in the finals, and they're going to bounce back hard as well. I think it's going to be a really hot first quarter. You watch the intensity from both sides. Chriso, who are you tipping in this one, please?
Well, I'm going to do a Daniel Vaccaro. I've tipped Wodonga on our Facebook page, and I'm going to go North Albury today.
You've swapped over. Hey, you've swapped over. You're right in the way.
The home ground feels. Dean Harding won't like me. He's trying to have pot shots at me, but I'm going to go the Hoppers.
North Albury as well, wearing different jerseys today to those viewers at home on our O&M Optus TV, and of course listening to us on 3NE. They're wearing the
Do I get asked?
What's that? Sorry, Dan?
Do you just assume that I'm going to tip Wodonga?
Okay, Dan, who are you tipping?
Wodonga.
There you go. I knew that was the case. North Albury wearing their pink jerseys today, guys. They're gold in the front, they're pink on the back, and they do this every single year. They're pink jumpers to raise funds for the Bravehearts on the Murray, and they got 200 screaming women in the North Albury Sports Club there as well, celebrating a great day, and it's become a tradition at North Albury as well. So that's why they're wearing the pink jerseys today. They look stunning, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, they certainly do, Panda. Look wonderful, like you said. They got a pink back, got a yellow front, and we're just about ready to go at Button Park, Panda.
We are indeed. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries here on 3NE's O&M Live. Panda Escott with you, Lukey Francis, Dan Vaccaro and Chris Mitchell. Interesting that they're going to use the muddy circle here at North Albury as well. at Button Park. So there's 2 circles, and one is bathed in mud.
They used the other one in the twos game, the one closest to us as well.
I would have thought they would have went with the circle, not with the
Would
mud.
have made a lot more sense
You
to
have a
me
bit of
too.
pull, mate. You could have had a few words.
Yeah, come on, Panda. What's the
but no,
story?
absolutely none of that whatsoever. Now, you're probably watching at home. We're sitting around waiting for 2 o'clock. It's currently 1:59, which is why the game has not
So we got a bit of
started
time.
yet. So at 2 o'clock, the umpire will grab the pill. He'll wave it up in the air and the game will get underway. Of course, Albury up against Yarrawonga as well. That's a massive game today in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. First versus second. Really quickly while we wait, guys. Who's your tip in that, Luke?
Which one, Panda?
Quickly, Dan. Albury, Yarrawonga. Is that Luke?
Aubrey.
Luke?
I went Albury.
What about you, Chriso?
Yeah, Albury, I think, at home.
We might just turn the heater up a notch too while we're waiting, Panda. Can we do that in the box?
We can. We
Can't
can.
get your hands on a portable heater, Panda?
No, not at all. We have it's in the timekeeper's box, which is right next to us. The umpires grab the pill here at Button Park. It's in the air. The siren sounds, and here's Lukey Francis as the Hoppers play the Dogs.
Here we go, Panda, Nugent and Cooper in the ruck. Big hit away from Cooper for the Hoppers. And straight on the boot for Caden Winner. So a bouncing ball inside 50. O'Sullivan got hands to it for the Dogs. And then Campbell at ground level. Fires, the players just fighting away for it. And the umpire's going to call for it here. So we've got an inside 50 to the Sports Club end early. Man in green has it. Sends it aloft. Nugent won the best of that one. Ball came out the back to Reynolds. Quickly try to get a hand away. Regathers. Second attempt here. Goes forward. Inside. Deep entry. Nathan Dennis swings around on the boot. O'Sullivan gets a fist to it. It's gone across the line, has it? Because in fact, yep. One behind here to the Hoppers. So they're on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard early. And Johnson will bring it back in from the fullback position.
Beautiful kick straight down the guts, and it's opened up here for Wodonga, streaming down the middle of Button Park. It's Wilson. He goes inside forward 50. King and Jewel out the back in a one-on-one duel. It fills the way here of Angus Baker. Flicks it off to Wilding. Goes inside forward 50. Hayes there for North Albury. Punching it over the line is Sam Azai. Boundary throw in. A minute played inside 50 here for the Wodonga Bulldogs. What about that kicking, Chris O, from Tommy Johnson?
It was a huge one, wasn't it? And I was just watching a few matchups there. The one between Charlie Morrison and Josh Minogue is going to be a ripper today. Keep an eye out for that one.
Okay, Alamein Avenue side of the ground at the Logan Road end, just next to the scoreboard. Here comes a big throw in. Cooper. Throw is a little short. King. Then out to Hayes, and Hayes swings it around on that right boot. Bouncing ball at the moment. Johnson found his way well up the ground now. Kicks it in. Matey got one hand to it. Sees it across the line. And again, we'll have another boundary throw in. So early days, North Albury 1 lead the Bulldogs 0, and we've gone 2 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. Panda Escott and Luke Francis with you for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Dan Vaccaro doing wonderful things on our 40-wing stat sheet. Chris Mitchell on the boundary for Watters. We're going to have another stoppage, it looks like, inside forward 50 here for the Wodonga Bulldogs, who just need to get a little bit of early territory and early ascendancy in this game. Of course, they defended a lot early last week against Yarrawonga, didn't they, Lukey?
Yeah, they certainly did, Panda. Took a long time for the game to break open.
Here's King out the back. Handball missed the target. Standing in the goal square all by himself was Cassidy. Hayes mopped up for the Hoppers. Flick it out here to Azai. This is good run and carry now. Foster Gardner, right half back. Little kick down the line. Good fist there from Greenhill up against Leighton Taylor. We've got another boundary throw in on centre wing broadcast side here at Button Park. We've played almost 3 minutes. North Albury 1 behind. Bulldogs yet to score on our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Yeah, they just had to chip it in their defensive half there because they had no one in their forward half, their Hoppers.
Rightio, ball back into play. Ground level, Hayes trying to weave through. Intercepted though by the Bulldogs and on the boot. That was Noah Bradshaw. Rolling ball inside 50 to the Logan Road end. Pretty scrappy early here. Winter went to ground. Jewel got it off to Matt Wilson. Wilson, gee, that's a wild old kick. Shocking, and finds its way out of bounds in that pocket. This will probably be the third boundary throw-in early, Panda, in that pocket as we go to Dan Vaccaro early on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, boys, Julian Hayes just continuing his great form. He's had 3 early touches in the opening 5 minutes.
Wasn't a great kick from Wilson then, Chris. Hit the wrong side of the ball.
Back in the day, you would have kicked that with your left foot, but AFL players do the banana these days, Panda.
Cooper with the tap out. Onto Hayes. A clearance for him onto the running man, Jack Reynolds, and his high kick is going to come straight back for Wodonga. Out of bounds on the full. 55 around from their goal. Alamein Avenue scoreboard side here at Button Park. So they're owning the territory early here, the Dogs, which would be pleasing Geordie Taylor. Inside 50 they go again. Ball hits the deck. First there was Archer Gardner. Good pressure here from the Dogs, who are going to force another ball up. Inside 50, 15 out from their goal. North Albury 1, the Dogs 0. We've played 4.5 minutes.
Many players around the pill here. Baker, Jorgensen at ground level. Just fumbled it out. And the umpire's going to say high, or
Throw.
is it a throw, was it? Against Jorgensen. So the Hoppers will get it. It's going to go to Ramage. So he's deep in defence here for the Hoppers. Logan Road end. He wants to move it. Does Fletcher to the back pocket. He's got Cooper. Cooper, short one to Hayes. Cooper's playing the 25 Guernsey today. Usually plays in the 27. Peter, tell us the story behind that.
Well, I don't think the correct pink jersey arrived, actually, Ricky Francis, so he's had to change up.
Yeah, so they're playing in the charity Guernsey today, the pink ladies Guernsey. The Hoppers looks great. Ramage kick smothered by Jewel. Goes after it, Sam, and then Ravage cleans up by tackling Jewel. Fletcher Gardner, or Flynn Gardner, I should say, is wrapped up, and the umpire is going to call for it. Just right of centre wing on the broadcast side as we go back to Dan Vaccaro for 40 Winks.
Yeah, just quickly again, boys. Julian Hayes, he's had 5 touches already in the opening 5 minutes, so huge numbers for him early.
Going in here hard was Riley Smith. I thought he was tackled without the ball. He was, and he's going to win a free kick here on centre wing for the Hoppers. Hand passes it off to Caden Winter. There's a 50-metre free kick here.
Against Maythie.
Yeah.
I think maybe encroaching on the mark, but not real sure.
I think North Albury played on those, so Maythie was in his right to go after that, Chriso. So interesting one here. Winter kicks in towards his mate Nathan Dennis, comes out the back here. Pattinson's there, hand passes it to Polkinghorn, weaves through traffic and kicks a point. Oh, he did all the hard work there, Polkinghorn. He
should have kicked it.
Yeah, 20 metres out directly in front and shanked it. So a chance for North Albury. Goes begging early. They're 2 behinds. The Dogs yet to score. That's on our Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. 6 gone, Macca's time clock.
Yeah, Chris, so as Panda said, it had to be a goal to Polkinghorn, but he's missed it.
Yeah, he sold a bit of beautiful candy. We tried to pretended to fire off the hand pass, but directly in front, 25 out. You need to kick those.
Yep. Johnson, long out of defence. Here's Reynolds. He's had a great first half of the year since crossing from the Mara Bombers. Ramage got it on the boot. Sent it down to the Pattinson direction. But Jones comes away for the Bulldogs, gets it down to the half-forward flank. Sam Jewell takes the mark, and he's got to play on quickly here. He's just waiting at the moment.
Got no one inside 50.
Now he goes wide, Panda, to Wilson. Matt, another shocking kick from him. So he hasn't started well by foot. King's taken the mark, and the switch is on for the Hoppers. They come to the opposite back pocket, and Azai's coming on a bouncing run.
Yeah, he's got no options up forward, though. Nathan Dennis had to work really hard, and the kick from Azai was not great. Tried to get out the back here to Dennis, but Driscoll took the intercept for the Dogs on centre wing. Early stages opening term, no goals yet. The Hoppers by 2 points. Driscoll kicks in the direction there of Wilding. Comes to the ground. Jorgensen just dives on the footy, and he's pinged holding the footy. Good tackle there by Sam Azai, who started this game pretty good, Dan Vaccaro.
He has, Sam Azai. He's up to 4 touches already.
So they want to switch the football again here, the Hoppers. They switch it across to the diving Julian Hayes, who tried to keep it in play, not able to, and there's a boundary throw in. 40 metres around from Wodonga Bulldogs' goal. The Hoppers 2 behinds, the Dogs yet to score. Tight game so far, Chriso, not much opening.
Not much at all, and they've got the press on again, so very hard. Even when North Albury win the ball, there's no one to kick it to long down the line.
Yeah, game still goalless as we reach the 8-minute mark of the first turn. Jorgensen, there's the first major. So the Dogs are away on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Adam Jorgensen with a 6-pointer. And finally, they get reward forever, Chris Mitchell.
Just read the fall of the ball beautifully, and he just looked so balanced when he kicked it across his body for a great goal. Knew it was going through the sticks as soon as he left his boot.
Yeah, really good finish there by Jorgensen. I think both teams probably got the same issue at the moment. They're not having any numbers going forward into that 50, but North Albury, they're up to the 4 inside 50s. Wodonga at 5. Matt Wilson started really well. He's had 3 early touches. Josh Maythie's given away a free kick. He's yet to touch the ball yet, and Jack Yellen yet to touch the footy as well.
So the start the Dogs wanted. They're gaining lots of territory and they're owning it at the moment. And Adam Jorgensen continues his great form, averaging 18 disposals and a goal a game. So the Dogs with the first here. We've played almost 9 minutes in this opening quarter. And we have another stoppage inside the centre circle here at Button Park as the sun starts to shine through. We had a draw in the A-grade netball between the Hoppers and the Dogs, which is great to see between two young, exciting teams. Baker on hands and knees. Hayes went in there for the Hoppers. He was sieged upon straight away by a couple of Dogs, and we've got another stoppage just forward of centre here for the Dogs in between the centre circle and the arc of the 50. Nugent with the tap down. Goody goes in for the Hoppers. Once again tackled straight away. High. Lucky to win a free kick there for North Albury. He plays on straight away. Kicks it short to Hayes at right half back.
6 touch for Julian Hayes, boys.
This is good here from Wodonga, though, forcing him to go back and retreat. And they kick it out wide here to Jack Penny. He marks it right half back. Far side of Button Park. The Dogs 1 straight 6. North Albury 2 behinds in the Paulie's Corner Cafe.
Yeah, Penny goes to Foster Gardner, squaring one back to Penny. So he's run forward. And expecting a top of 16 degrees today in North Albury. I reckon we've probably already reached that.
Take the jacket off, Lukey.
That's it, Panda.
In the scaffold.
Either way, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't worry Dan Vaccaro, he's an Iron Man. Down the line, Goody, Mr. Anderson, Patterson at the back. Nugent slipped over, and then Polkinghorn came away with it, sends it inside 50, good delivery. And he gets Leighton Taylor. So Taylor's taken the mark here on the Alamein Avenue side, kicking to the Sports Club end. Chris Mitchell, what are your thoughts for Waters?
Well, you can just see, I'm just looking at the Aussie flag flying in the background there, and it was going at fair knots, so the breeze might hold him up a bit if he keeps it high, but he's a chance. He might just pop it to the square.
Here goes Taylor, and it's gone to the far side through for 1 behind. So 6 plays 3 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. We've got 11 minutes on the Macca's time clock. The Bulldogs are up. Let's go back to Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Ollie Greenhill marks. That left half back, Dan Vaccaro for 40 winks.
Yeah, that one there by Leighton Taylor, that was the first mark inside 50 for either team. So going forward hasn't been really precise at the moment.
Sam Jewell, I thought he might have been impeded with there on the far wing. No free kick. Azai for the Hoppers. Good kick, finds Cade Pup Brown, his first 40 winks disposal of the day. 3-time Thaguna Premiership coach. Beautiful kick, finds Minogue in the middle of Button Park. They're out here on the far side. It's Jack Reynolds. He marks 55 from home, pops it over the top looking for Nathan Dennis, and a great defensive fist there from Charlie Morrison, who's in sensational form. Punches it over the boundary line, and we'll have it thrown back into play. 45 around from North Albury's goal, who are yet to kick one. They're 3 behinds, but Wodonga 1 straight 6. That's on the Paulie's Corner Cafe. Lukey Francis.
Dan, we'll go to you for 40 winks.
Yeah, really positive last few minutes here from North Albury. They're up to the 6 inside 50s to Wodonga's 5 at the moment.
Now, umpire's called a free kick here.
It's going
to go the way of Minogue. Yeah, that's right. Chriso, could you see what it was for?
No, not really, but it looked like he was saying it was shepherding. He was using his arm in that sort of fashion, the umpire, but I didn't get a good look at it, Lukey.
Very good, Chris. I think you're right. I think the umpire had his arms out for shepherding in the ruck contest. So Josh Minogue here is about to try and score the Hoppers' first goal. 6 plays 3. They trail at the moment on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Just a really talented footballer, this guy. Just a real likely type. Look at that action. That is beautiful. A great strike of the footy, and the Hoppers away at home. So 9 plays 6 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. They hit the front. We're gone about 30 minutes on the Macca's time clock as we go back to Dan Vaccaro on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, great finish there by Minogue, and just really good reward for effort there for North Albury for their last 3 minutes. So they're up to 6 inside 50s now. Sam Azai's been superb off half-back. He's up to the 4 touches, and Julian Hayes has had 6 as well. So their rebounding is fantastic, and they're probably getting their hands on the footy a little bit more, Lukey Francis.
So we've played around 13 minutes here on the Macca's time clock. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries. And North Albury in front by 3 points here. That's 19 goals for the season for Josh Minogue. He's in sensational form, and it's going to be a great matchup today if he does play on Charlie Morrison. Picking the ball up there was Will Bradshaw for the Dogs. And here come the Hoppers. They force the turnover. This is Polkinghorn, fresh off 20 disposals last week in his best game for the Hoppers. Kicks it inside 50. Riley Gill got his hands to it on debut for Wodonga. They jump on him, and we got another stoppage inside 50 here for North Albury. Inside 50 numbers, Dan Vaccaro?
7-5 in favour of North at the moment.
So they, after not starting all that well, they've owned the last 5 or 6 minutes here at their home turf. Juggling the ball there was Tom Googly Bear Anderson. Flicks it off out here to Jack Reynolds. Baker's in there for Wodonga. He wins it, hand passes it in favour of Jack O'Sullivan. Not able to win it. Gardner was tackled straight away, and he's pinged holding the ball. And Wodonga win a free kick on the far side of Button Park, and if they move it quickly, they can get it in a dangerous position, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, that's right, Panda. So Flynn Gardner just tried to ball through with his head down. Umpire opinion, correct decision. Down the line, Penny. Few early touches in this footy game. Over the top to Reynolds, but the ball has found its way out of bounds. So right of centre wing, Dan Vaccaro, how are our inside 50s looking in the first term here?
Yeah, so 7 North Albury and 5 Wodonga, so really positive last 5 minutes from North.
Yeah, approaching the 15-minute mark on the Macca's time clock. Young lady about to throw it back into play. Matt Wilson up against Minogue. Polkinghorn brought down by Wilson. Wilson will get it. And he wants to fire it in here. Chips it up inside 50. A pop-up ball. Jet Cassidy roved it beautifully. Tried to get the handball out. Wasn't a great one. Archie Gardner brought to ground by Baker. And the umpire again is going to call for it. So we've got a stoppage about 40 out from goal. The Logan Road end. Panda for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Jorgensen, the goal scorer for the Dogs. As they go back inside forward 50. Snap forward from Mathy. A steal line goal today from Josh Mathy. Something from nothing. And the Dogs get their second. They go to 2 straight 12. North Albury 1-3-9. That's on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Chris O, a great snap out of a stoppage.
Yeah, again, they've been really great defensively in their forward half, and that's given the repeat looks at it, and that was a great snap by Mathy. Picked it up beautifully after it looked like it was sort of going to be Hopper's ball. They were going to close it in and force another stoppage, but a big goal there. That's their second for the Doggies.
Yeah, disappointing for North Albury to give up that goal when they've had all the play the last 5 minutes, but as again, you've just got such a classy player in Josh Mathy who was able to snap and had his first touch for the day too, Lukey.
Yeah, something out of nothing, as Panda said. Logan Road ends, so Josh, so good each and every week. Ball at ground level, Driscoll got the handball up. And then Greenhill brought to ground heavily. And the umpire's going to call it. Strong tackle from Caden Winner.
Dan, what's Tim Broomhead's numbers?
Timmy Broomhead's touched the ball twice.
Off the ground by Broomhead. Handballed out. Going in Gill. Wild hand pass. Turned over. Gardner. Archer sends it inside 50. Anderson goes home. Inside 50. Got one hand to it. Driscoll just on the boot. Bouncing ball in front of Gus Jones. Now gathers. Wheels. And now tries to get a ball inboard. But here's Foster Gardner. Out the back to King. And then King onto Azai. Onto Hayes. So that was nice. Short delivery into the middle to Anderson. Now, what will Tom do? He's got a runner right out wide, and that's Reynolds. Takes the mark. Wants to virtually come back to where it came from, to Hayes.
8th touch for Hayes too.
So they're pushing up from behind. And then on true centre wing on the Alamein Avenue side, and Hayes goes down the line.
Yeah, he kicks in towards his half forwards, but a great intercept mark there by Tommy Johnson back in the side for Wodonga today. And he goes out really wide. It's been marked by Wilding. He chips it over the top to Cassidy, and he marks. So Wodonga are at half forward. In the hands of Jet Cassidy, the speedster. He's called to play on. Kicks a worm burner inside 50. First there was Jorgensen. Was he grabbed without it? Thought he was. Stiff there. Wodonga not to win a free kick as Foster Gardner emerges with the football. And we got a boundary throw in on the far side of Button Park. Wodonga 2 straight 12. North Albury 1-3-9 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries has gone 17 minutes. Lukey?
Yeah, Panda, here we go. Umpire about to pitchfork it back into play. And winds up. Sends it in. Johnson this time up against Minogue. Down at ground level. On Mathy got rid of Anderson. Came away with it. Sends it inside 50. Good delivery to Angus Baker. Wonderful 40 from Josh Mathy. Chris Mitchell, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he's a great player, Josh Mathy, and he doesn't need too much room to move. And he found Angus Baker on the lead, just hit him beautifully. But you mentioned his name before, Tom Johnson. There's not much he can't do or where he can't play either. He's been a great attribution today as well. Angus
Baker looking at the Bulldogs' third goal in the first term. They lead 12-9 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Tough angle. He's got this. What a goal. That is a steer line goal of the day from Angus Baker. He is an A-grade jet as we go back to Dan Vaccaro on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, what an unbelievable finish there by Angus Baker. It's why he's one of the league's best, but also another one of the league's best, Josh Mathy, who just delivered Wodonga's first mark inside 50 and his second touch, and that was an absolute perfect hit out. A pretty even contest at the moment, so 8 inside 50s each for both teams, and Angus Baker's had 5 touches and he's kicked the goal, so he's starting to play what he does every single week, Lukey.
Chris Mitchell on the boundary for Waters. Looks like Noah Bradshaw's going to Tim Broomhead at every opportunity.
Yeah, well, you said before he's only had 2 or 3 touches. He's been pretty quiet from his standards, 40 last week, so they need to get him going in the engine room.
Averaging 36.5 40 winks disposals. 36.5, I should say. Timmy Broomhead for the year. So a good start here for Wodonga. 3 straight 18 over North Albury 9 as it's hacked out of there by Julian Hayes, and it just holds up in the wind towards the northern end. Wodonga intercept. They go in the middle of the ground looking for Greenhill. He's going to win a free kick. Chop of the arms against Archer Gardner. Right bang smack in the middle of Button Park. So Greenhill still in his own defensive half. Kicks to half forward. Good body work there by Wilding. Roving beautifully. Jorgensen. Dangerous snap on goal. It's been marked by the stick. Jewel stick. Sam Jewell pretty much 10 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, it wasn't a big or a great kick from Jorgensen. I'm not sure if he actually meant that or not, but it just went over the top of the North Albury defender's arms, and Jewell is probably the biggest guy on the ground, so he just went back and kicked another one for the Doggies.
Sam Jewell gets his first goal in 3 weeks, a steel line goal today, and the Dogs have got their 4th. 4 straight 24 over North Albury, 1-3-9. A 15-point lead to the Dogs. We've played 20 minutes in this opening quarter.
Absolutely, and what a great finish there by Sam Jewell. But just look a little bit more potent going forward, Wodonga. They've gone inside forward 59 times. Adam Jorgensen, who we mentioned, he's just at the fall of every single ball in that 50. He's just so pivotal to this Wodonga team. He plays across that half forward. He's almost taken that role of Jack Chesser and Noah, who are out today, and he's doing it all inside that forward 50.
Yeah, sure is, Dan. So goals to Sam Jewell, Angus Baker, Josh Mathy and Adam Jorgensen for the Bulldogs, and a single to Josh Minogue for the Hoppers. Back in the middle, ball at ground level, Baker. Another clearance along the ground. Foster Gardner couldn't get hands to it. Ball spread out the back, found its way to Broomhead on the boot and shifts it to Isaac Campbell. True half-back flank, Alamein Avenue side. As the sun goes down behind the clouds, it's quite overcast and cool here in North Albury. Polkinghorn, nice hand pass to Foster Gardner, and then goes with about a 25-metre kick down the line. Charlie Morrison got in the road as he does so often, and then Taylor tried to wrap him up. Ball turned over, and it's going to be tied in, and the umpire is going to have it. So 24 plays 9, a good start of the Bulldogs opening term here on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 22 as we go back to Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Going in here, Venturoni, first game for the year. Baker has to get rid of it really quick. This is good forward heat for North Albury. Good tackle there from Dennis on Morrison. Spills out here to Campbell. Off the ground, Anderson. Through for a point. Soccer style. You probably should have finished that, Tom Anderson there. Through for a minor score. 1-4-10. That was a sitter. North Albury, the Bulldogs, 4 straight 24 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Great tackle from Goody on Baker. They tried to do the kick in. And a free kick here against George Goody for a sling tackle on Angus Baker. In his own defensive 50, and the Bulldogs are out here, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, Hopper's bench, not happy at all, Chris Mitchell.
No one was. I had fans looking around thinking, was that actually a free? But let's play on.
And ball inside 50, Wilding, another one. They get their 5th, the Bulldogs. Wow. So 30 plays 10. They're off to a blistering start today. This is what they wanted after a slow start in Pigeonland last Saturday. As we go back to you, Dan Vaccaro, for 40 winks.
Well, there's two sides of the story. Wodonga are just so good going forward, and they're making the most of their opportunities. The inside 50 count's really even, so it's 10 inside 50s to 8, but the difference is Wodonga have just defended so well this year, and they're continuing that today, and they're not giving North Albury anything, and they're able to rebound so productively as well on the back of Tom Johnson and co.
We just wondered where the goals were going to come from. They've had 5 individual goal kickers already. They look like they're going to score every time they get it up there.
So, blistering opening quarter here for the Wodonga Bulldogs, and they're going to win a free kick out of the middle again here. They're on fire here early, and they're going to pump them in again. Where's the dual stick? Not there. Gus Jones flew. He roves beautifully, and he might kick a goal here, Jones. He does. He wobbles it forward, and the Dogs are on fire. 6 straight 36. Something from nothing from Gus Jones. A brilliant finish. North Albury 1-4-10. That's on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. All of a sudden, you look up, Dan, it's 26 points.
Yeah, well, the concerning thing now for North Albury is that Wodonga are starting to win at the coalface. They're starting to win it out of the centre, and they're starting to get entries now, so they're up to 11-9. So they're starting to pile on the goals, but they're absolutely killing them out of the midfield as well.
Tell you what, Chris Mitchell, they've rocked up today, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, their last 10 minutes has been exhilarating, hasn't it? And Yellen, that was a great centre clearance and straight down the guts. It just gives North Albury no chance to defend something like that.
Yeah, they're on in the opening term. The maroon and white back in the middle. Nugent versus Cooper. Ball came to ground. Nugent on the second opportunity. Sent it forward inside 50. Azai, beautiful defensive fist over the top. Archie Gardner gets a hand pass out wide to Brown. Then on to Polkinghorn and back on to Hayes. Great footy. Coming off half back and then gets a long one up to the half forward flank. Penny takes a good mark. So this is nice. And a beautiful build-up here from the Hoppers as they go inside 50, over the top. Driscoll mopping up for the Bulldogs. Wants to work it across goal. Just made it to Jack Yelland in time. Oh, had to come off Chris Mitchell, and it did.
Yeah, he had Tim Broomhead right on his tail, didn't he? But they might turn it over to here. But, yeah, just showing a little bit of composure in the defensive half of Wodonga.
Well done by Noah Bradshaw, who got around Goody, and he goes inboard here to Jones, the previous gold kicker who just missed Baker. Just over his head, and Azai takes a defensive mark here for North Albury at centre half back. They need quarter time here, the Hoppers. They need to reset. The Dogs 6 straight 36 over North Albury 1-4-10. We've gone 25 minutes in this opening quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. Winter goes short, finds Goody in space. They want a late goal here, North Albury. Kick hung a long time in the air. Minogue marks on the wing. Minogue goes inside 50. Low kick to Archer Gardner. He plays on and kicks it from 45. It's across the face. Another minor score here for the Hoppers and another blown chance. 1-5-11. The Bulldogs 6 straight 36. We've played 26 minutes for Maccas here in this opening quarter. It's a tale of two stories, really, at the minute, Dan Vaccaro.
Well, you're talking about how good Dogs have been, but 11 inside 50s for North Albury, and they've kicked 1 goal, 5 to Wodonga's 6 straight, so they're definitely not making the most of their opportunities, and you can argue that that's on the back of how good defensively Wodonga are and what corners they're pushing North Albury into.
Looks like they pushed Minogue behind the ball too, just to stem the bleeding at the moment.
Gee, if those kicks from Archie Gardner and Anderson went through, Chris Mitchell would have been a different story, but it's not the case, and that's bad footy.
And Wodonga's taken their chances when they've gone forward, haven't they, Lukey? So that's been the difference of the game so far.
Yep. Johnson, fullback position to Matt Wilson. So working up towards the first break here at Button Park, round 10. Chris Mitchell, Dan Vaccaro, Blake Escott and Luke Francis with you. Out to Jack Cassidy, left of centre wing, far side. And a short, low ball. Wasn't the best. Or Judy beautifully to pick it up. And he plays on now to Noah Bradshaw inside 50. Great delivery to Angus Baker. Chris Mitchell for Waters.
It just looks so open. It's not the defensive sort of struggle and scrap the Hoppers have made it the last 3 weeks, but it just seems like Wodonga's got so much time and space when they get the footy.
Yeah, gee, this is sting. So they've got 6 on the board already. Baker ticked a great goal earlier this term. And he would be shooting at 2. Again, as we work up towards the quarter-time break, Logan rode in. Gee, he's got some air on that. Gee, he's a great player. He is a wonderful player. And he's got 2, Baker, and they get away. It is now 42 playing 11 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Dan, we'll go back to you, mate, on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Well, it's all about Angus Baker at the moment, boys. He's had 9 touches and kicked 2 goals in the opening quarter of footy.
Yeah.
And that's why he's one of the league's best players, isn't he? He's just an unbelievable player. And Wodonga looks so good going forward. They're up to 13 inside 50s. They've had 3 marks, but they just look really, really dangerous. When North on the other end, they go in, and it looks like they're really, really struggling to get a shot on goal. So that's been the difference. And Wodonga are starting to win it out of the midfield as well.
7 straight 42. Kicking good, the Wodonga Bulldogs, and it's good footy. They're up and about here as Mathy wobbles one forward once again. It's been intercepted by Hayes at half-back. Plays on straight away. Kicks short to Reynolds. North Albury need quarter time. 1-5-11 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. The last 6 straight for Wodonga in this opening quarter. Once again, Good defensive effort at half back for Wodonga, but it's a free kick here to Penny. Not sure what that one was for, Chris Mitchell for Waters.
No, I didn't see it, Pennant.
I think he just got him around the shoulder.
Penny goes inside 50, but it's too late as it's probably going to be marked by Minogue inside 50. The siren sounds here at Button Park. One-way traffic in Wodonga. Lead by 31 points. And the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. What an opening term. 7 straight 42. Wodonga 1-5-11. Wow. That is the response Jordan Taylor would have wanted. We're going to go to a break here on 3N's R10 Live. When we come back, our Optus Quarters best and more as we recap the opening quarter. Remember, on R10 Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Live on on 3NE.
All the Dogs in the opening quarter here on 15.663 NE. They lead by 31 points. 7 straight 42 over North Albury, 1-5-11. Dan Vaccaro, who were the stars for Optus in that opening term?
Yeah, well, what a quarter by Wodonga. They just look so good going forward, and there's no debate really. Angus Baker has just been unbelievable. He's had 10 touches and kicked 2 goals, so he's really running the show up there. And the fact that they could just rest him up forward and he kicks goals is so clinical for Wodonga and their prospects this season, and he's by far their best player at the moment. And for North Albury, there hasn't really been much. I feel like a lot of their players probably aren't using as well as they would. Julian Hayes has by far been their best. He's had 10 touches, but even Julian probably hasn't used the ball as probably well as he has in recent weeks, or has probably looked as dangerous as he has as well, Lukey. So he's been really, really good, along with Sam Azai, who's been getting a bit of it as well. He's had the 5 touches, and Tim Broomhead early, but yeah, he's only had the 5 touches as well.
So just waiting for the Bulldogs. Huddle's now broken up. Hoppers are already set, or virtually, for the second term here. We'll go back down to Chris Mitchell at ground level for Waters and see if Chriso could catch anything at the first break. Chriso, down on ground level, welcome into you again, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Lukey. You had a quick look at both huddles. Unacceptable, I think, was the words he was using, was Tim Broomhead. Worst quarter of footy they've played all season. So
wow. He
wants them to work harder, and pressure was right off. So he was not a happy man at all, and says they got the rest of the game to make it up for. On the other side, Geordie Taylor was really happy with, as you would understand, how they're going, and really singled out Noah Bradshaw for his performance on Broomhead so far, to only keeping him to a couple of disposals. Said be aggressive and keep that contested ball work up, which is leading the way so far.
Yeah, their pressure was right off, which has been their one with North Albury over the past couple of weeks. So let's see if that can increase here in this second quarter. They trail by 31 points. Wodonga's 7 straight, blistering opening quarter. They lead by 31. The Hoppers 1-5-11 as we're about to get underway here in this second quarter for Wangaratta Motor Group. Just waiting for a couple of these kids down there in the pocket, I think, Luke Francis, to get off the ground.
Yes, Panda. We've got some infants out there, Dan.
They're only 200 metres away. Just ball the
They're chipping a footy around there. They're on the ground.
It's a rule, Dan. It's a rule.
Come on. Come on.
Just chip the footy over the fence, boys. And
umpires. Me.
Oh, yeah, that's incredibly controversial.
What have you got against
we wouldn't have a game.
Nah, they do a fantastic job. I was just playing.
I'd like to see you out there,
just get out of my throat, boys.
I don't know about you guys up there, boys, but the wind is picked up again. It's blowing a gale coming right across the ground, heading east.
Here's Lukey Francis for Wang Motor Group. Second quarter underway.
Yeah, second chapter. Cooper got hands to it. Matey came tearing through. Got it on the second attempt. Got it off. Wilson. And getting it back for the Bulldogs.
Throw.
Venturoni, and has been deemed a throw in there. So Hoppers to get it here through Broomhead. He wants a 50. It's taken a while here. Noah Bradshaw didn't give it back for quite some time. Anyway, here he goes. Tim Broomhead on the boot, and then sends it to the half-forward flank. They get an entry. Minogue, 2 bites at it, put it down. Ramage. Archer Gardner to Foster Gardner. In fact, that was Goody. And then Venturoni again for the Bulldogs. Wilding got a hand to it. Hit the ground heavily. Hayes over the top to Goody again. The Hoppers have it. Good ball into Azai. What happened there? Was that touched?
Must have been.
It must have been touched because it was well over 15 metres. Yeah, it was touched, I think.
So a stoppage at half-forward here for North Albury, who are kicking to the Logan Road end in this second quarter. The wind definitely picked up here at Button. Tim Broomhead, 240 wings disposals, goes in towards the pocket looking for Minogue. Not a great kick, but it's a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for North Albury.
You can really see Tim Broomhead trying to wield his team this quarter. He's already had the 2 early touches and a clearance out of the midfield as well.
So might have to turn these effects mics down as well because it is very windy. It's a beautiful sunny day here. A couple of clouds at Button Park, but the wind's picked up. Toss back into play. Minogue doing the ruck work. Broomhead going in here for the Hoppers. Matey over the footy. Coming in there really hard was Winter for the Hoppers. Trying to wipe the mud off his hands. Spills out here to Tommy Johnson. Messy conditions here at the moment. Goody's got a little bit of time and space. Goes by hand to Campbell. Wants his left foot. Finds it eventually. Greases one inside 50. Great intercept mark there by Jorgensen. Play on not 15 and he's caught holding the ball. Foster Gardner wraps him up. Free kick to the Hoppers on centre wing and he plays on straight away.
And he goes short to Caden Winter and then wants to head outboard. That's okay to Jack Penny. right on the 50 paint. Logan Road end. Penny with the ball. Tom Johnson mans the mark. So 42 plays 11 if you just tuned in on O&M Live. Bulldogs up. 2 minutes in. The Macca's time clock, second term. Here goes Jack. He's going to fancy his chances, is he? Oh, he's winding up. And then he's gone off the pop-up ball. Gee, that's got some height. That'll bring some rain, I reckon. Chris Mitchell for Waters has gone through for one behind. So 42 plays 12 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. As we go back down to you, Chriso.
Yeah, the winds died down a little bit, but it's that sort of day. It picks up and then it goes back. But they need to make the most of this forward territory at the moment, the Hoppers. It's something they haven't done so far this game.
Venturoni marks and he goes down the line. As-I with the reach. Good hands there from Cooper, and Hoppers have it again. Penny bombs it long. Inside 50. Lots of dogs down there. Morrison, take your pick, could have taken it. Sullivan could have taken it. In the end, it's through for a minor score. And the North Albury Hoppers go to 1-7-13. The Dogs 7 straight 42. That is on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. The Dogs are away on the far side through Jewel.
Too easy, wasn't it? 2 kicks and they're on the wing already.
Yeah, Sam with it. That's right, Chris Mitchell. And then a long ball heading up towards the arc. Cassidy caught at the back, got rid of his opponent. Ramage right on his tail, and the ball has gone out of bounds. Rightio, let's go back down to Dan Vaccaro for 40 wings. What do you got for us, Dan?
Well, really positive stuff for North to get inside forward 54 times, but the fact that they couldn't get a score and Wodonga have generated it back in theirs in 2 kicks is concerning.
Yep. Charity Guernsey's been worn by the Hoppers today. Look great on Pink Ladies Day, and I'm guessing, Peter, there's a big function on tonight here at Bunton Park.
There's a function right now, Lukey Francis. But Tommy Johnson has it in the middle of the ground. Hand passes on to O'Sullivan, going inside 50 again. Just missed Baker. Just missed him at the crucial point, and it was intercepted by King in defence for the Hoppers. Goes out wide to Gardner. He's got the runner. It's As-I. Broadcast side. Goes inboard to Foster Gardner. Flicks it onto his brother Arch. This is really good head here by Wodonga, who once again force a dodgy hand pass here from the Hoppers, who are under heat at every opportunity. Spills out here to Wilding. Not able to grab it. Penny over the footy for the Hoppers. Has to hold off. Yellen goes in there. Ball on the deck at half forward here for Wodonga. Good pressure to force a stoppage. 60 from home. 7 straight 42 the Dogs. North Albury 1-7-13. The margin's 29. We've played 4.5 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Second quarter for Wing Motor Group.
Yeah, stoppage right down in front of our broadcast position. Polkinghorn handballs out to Hayes, and then Hayes on to Broomhead. Nice work to King, and then King on the boot. And he's got Reynolds running through. He just needed to sit for him. Oh, he got a shocking bounce. How about that? And now the Bulldogs through Mimo. Go back to Andrews. Over the top to Noel Bradshaw. Got brought down without it. Over the shoulder, so they will win it back. Wants to angle inboard to Wortman. Now, Matey's just telling him to steady. He's going to go to the half-forward flank here. And going back was Archie Gardner, did well. Got the handball out now to Dennis and then on to Cooper. And he wants to send it to True centre half forward.
Yeah, interesting kick. There were 2 dogs, but it spills the way here of Tom Anderson for North Albury. His hand pass makes Goody work. He goes out really wide looking for Dennis. Great intercept work there by Sullivan for the Dogs, who hands it off to the debutant Riley Gill. Matey versus Goody. Matey wins out in the middle of Bunton Park. And a good contest there and a good mark by Josh Matey. His numbers, Dan Vaccaro.
This will only be his 5th, so a little bit of a quiet start, but he has kicked the goal in the first quarter.
That's right, he's hit the scoreboard. So have the Dogs. 7 straight 42 still. North Albury 1-7-13. No goal in this second quarter for Wang Motor Group. Riley Smith should have marked that for the Hoppers. Spills out to here to Archie Gardner, who's got busy this quarter. Hayden Cooper at half-back has to retreat to Ramage, wants to come inboard. Finds Foster Gardner in the bright blue boots. He hits the 45 to Polkinghorn. This is good movement for the Hoppers. Winter ran into a steam train, which was Angus Baker. And the Dogs once again force the turnover, and Gill's got it.
And sends a high ball up towards the 50. As-I comes out and takes it in the hands. And he wants to move it quickly to Julian Hayes. Dan Vaccaro on the 40-wing stat sheet. Julian
Hayes is about to have his 13th touch, boys.
Goes to Flynn Gardner. So they're outside defensive 50. Alamein Avenue side to Polkinghorn. True centre wing. Inside ball now to As-I. As-I sends it inside the arc for the Hoppers. Bouncing ball now. Wortman in defence takes it to ground. Good job for the Bulldogs. And we'll go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters. What's the latest down there, Chris O?
Not much happening on here with the interchanges, but this is a good hard tussle at the moment, isn't it? It's end-to-end stuff, but the Hoppers need a goal desperately just to get back on track.
Wortman under pressure there from Penny, and the Dogs clear it. Out on the far side. Good contest out there. Reynolds not able to grab it, and the Dogs move it down the far side. It's been marked here by Wilding. The kick one in the opening quarter. Wilding goes inside forward 50. It's Azai. In fact, there's a whistle, and it's a free kick here to the Dogs, Chris Mitchell.
Didn't look like there was anyone near him, to be honest, but it's going to be a free to Jorgensen after Azai marked it. So it's a big let-off for Wodonga. Going to have a shot at goal.
Yeah, did he slip over then, Chris?
It looked like it, didn't it?
I agree.
Well,
I didn't think...
Hang on.
I'm going to reverse it.
They've reversed it.
Yeah, that's...
It was strange because there was no one near Jorgensen and he got the free kick, so I don't know what it was for, but...
So in the end, Sam Azai gets the free kick for the Hoppers, the bloke who marked it. Not a great exiting kick out of defensive 50. Jorgensen makes the Hoppers work. It's picked up here by Reynolds as the wind picks up here at Button. Riley Smith moves it on here to Anderson. This is good run and play for the Hoppers. Inside 50. Nathan Dennis. Was he held? Umpire said no. Well done there by Wortman. Ball inside 50 here for the Hoppers. Stoppage.
And that's a win for the Dogs, I reckon. Two on two, and the Hoppers coming hard.
15 out from the Hoppers goal. 7 straight 42 the Dogs. North Albury 1-3-13.
Minogue, Polkinghorn picks it up. He wants to get around Baker. Didn't work. Came out to Penny. To Campbell, zigging and zagging, and then gets the ball out to Hayes. They're retreating, they're losing territory here. To Brown, chips in. Now they go forward. Let's have a look. Here's the entry to the Logan Road end over the back. Defensive fist from Andrews to Noah Bradshaw. Ground level. Holding the ball.
Ooh, I thought he might pay a dump tackle then. Free kick to Wodonga.
Or
in the back, but yeah, it's holding the ball.
Gill's gone to ground. Minogue will get it. Just talk us through that one again, Christo, for Waters.
It was just a big, heavy tackle and sort of slammed him in the turf a little bit. You see it in the AFL now, and he might get a couple of weeks for that. But it was a big tackle. He had prior opportunity, so he's paid holding the ball.
Did he have prior, you reckon?
I thought so, Daniel.
Yeah, okay. Dan, are you not too happy with that decision?
I felt like you just grabbed it. But
Okay. Josh Minogue has kicked the Hoppers' only goal. He's shooting for their second. 42 plays 13 on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard. Must kick this, Josh. Has he got it? Yes, he has. And he gets them up and about. So 42 plays 19 on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard. The Bulldogs have got the lead here. We're about 9 in on the Macca's time clock, second term, as we go to Denver Carr on the Footy Wing stats.
Yeah, really good kick there by Minogue. He's just a really class player, but they really needed that North Albury. They had 7 inside 50s and they were yet to get a score, so it was starting to get a little... 7 already, and they were starting to get a little bit concerning with it, the fact that they were going forward and not being able to generate any shots at goal. So a really good finish there by Minogue. Wodonga have started a little bit slow to this quarter. They've only gone inside forward 53 times. Adam Jorgensen has been in fantastic form. He's had 3 touches earlier this quarter. Takes his total to 6 and 1 for the day.
Not a bad crowd here at Button Park. Sunny conditions here on this Saturday. Round 10 action. So the Hoppers desperately needed that goal. Cade Pup-Brown kicks a wobbler inside 50 again. And Tommy Johnson back in for the Dogs today from suspension. Takes another intercept mark. Goes out to the Alamein Avenue side of the ground. It's been marked here by Mimo. Wants to aggressively kick the Dogs in the middle of the ground. And the Hoppers get a chance here. Spills out here, and there's a whistle, and it's a
trip, I reckon.
North Albury free. No, yeah, it is. It's a North Albury free kick here to Nathan Dennis. Coming off 5 goals last week against the Rovers. He's too far out to score. He's got an option really wide. Alamein Avenue side of the ground. It's Tom Googly Bear Anderson who chips it over the top here to Reynolds. Still too far out to score here for the Hoppers. Lots of players in there. Forward 50. Reynolds just sits it up, looking for Minogue again. Good fist there from Johnson. The Dogs emerge with Baker, and once again through Andrews, and they chip it down the line. It's been marked here by Gus Jones.
Yeah, Jones has got it. True half-back flank for the Doggies. Second term, Button Park. He goes to Wortman. Big switch on here to Charlie Morrison. Now he's got Driscoll on. Morrison's going to suck in the player, which is Pattinson. Now over the top to Driscoll. So he's got space. And then the kick was awful. Isaac Campbell's intercepted it. He's on the run, sends it inside 50. Good ball. And he's found Penny. Is he going to play on? No, I think he's going to hold it up. Gee, that was bad coming out of defence, wasn't it, Chris Mitchell, by the Bulldogs? They really had the run of play there.
They had the extra man too. They just needed the looping handball over the top. But to the Hoppers' credit, they forced the turnover, and Penny's going to line up directly in front from about 50.
That's right. So he had a shot moments ago from a tighter angle. Really got some height on the ball, Jack Penny. 42 plays 19. Bulldogs up. Hopper's shooting at their third. Gee, gets some height on them, doesn't he? But it's effective this time, and it's gone through. So 42 plays 25. They're starting to edge back the gap as we go back to Dan Vaccaro on the 40 wing stats.
Yeah, what a finish by North Albury, and they're absolutely all over Wodonga this quarter, boys. They've gone inside forward 10 times for 2 marks as well, and just their better players are starting to get their hands in the footy. Sam Azai is up to 4 touches this quarter, Broomhead's at the 4, and Julian Hayes as well coming off the half back line. So really dominant sort of first 13 minutes for North Albury, and Wodonga need to respond here. They've only gone inside forward 53 times, and Baker, Matthew and Wilson have only touched the football twice each.
Around the grounds for Optus, Yarrawonga 4-4-28, lead Albury 2-2-14. The Hoppers are coming back here against Wodonga, 42 plays 25. We played 13 minutes in this second quarter. Good tackle there from Penny on Tommy Johnson. But the Dogs went out through numbers. Here's Baker, already kicked 2 goals. He's allowed to take a bounce down the button wing and kick it inside 50 again to a dangerous position. Camped out the back there was the dual stick. Dives over the football. He was set upon straight away. Good hands there by the Hoppers. Reynolds has had a pretty good game today out there on that wing. He chips it over the top to Cal Pattinson. Still at half back. Comes inboard for Goody, and he marks. Mathy makes him work for it. So George chips it back here in the Hoppers. They want to switch the football. Julian Hayes has to wait for the football, able to get around Wilding pretty easy. Kicks a beautiful one out of defence, looking here for Riley Smith. Has to camp under the footy, does that, flicks it over the top to Archer Gardner. He can run and gun inside 50. Looking for Dennis up against a couple of Dogs. Doesn't get there. The Hoppers have a boundary throw in a couple of metres around from their goal. We played 14 minutes. The Hoppers 3-7, the Dogs 7 straight.
It was a great build-up play on the wing there from the Hoppers, and a great big kick there from Hayes. But their forward 50 entries just not playing to advantage from their forwards and not giving them that one-on-one separation from the defenders.
That's Chris Mitchell for Waters. Dan, just give us the leading possession getter for each team, thanks to 40 Wings.
Yeah, so Tim Broomhead would be for... Julian Hayes is up to 15 for North Albury, and Angus Baker's had the 13 and 2 goals for Wodonga.
Yeah, and ball's gone back over the line again, so we will have another boundary throw in, this time on the broadcast side. Logan Road end, quite blustery here at Button Park. Round 10 action. North Albury Hoppers a super win over the Wang Rovers 7 days ago after having the bye in round 8. And then quickly on the boot. Ball at ground level, quickly goes across the line, and it's scored by Jack Penny. So his 3rd attempt this quarter. And he's kicked 2 goals. Well done to Jack. And I tell you what, they're bridging the gap. Slowly but surely, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, I think that's the scoring end too, but they're making the most of it. It's probably 1 to 2 goal breeze, I reckon, the southern end. But they're getting all the forward 50 entries, and Wodonga just struggling to get it out of the defensive 50 at the moment. Yeah,
looking like a different team this quarter, North Albury. They're able to go inside forward 50 11 times, but the thing I really like to see is they're being able to transition the ball a lot smoother this quarter as well, Lukey off the half back line. So looking for better targets, and they're getting better looks inside forward 50, not so much on the boundary. They're kicking 20 metres out directly in front.
So Wodonga yet to score in this second quarter. The Hoppers have kicked the only 3 goals. 4-7-31. The Dogs 7 straight 42 on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second quarter for Wang Motor Group, as Lukey Francis said before, and you can hear in our effects mic, very blustery conditions here at Button Park. Lisa Sun's out. Here's Campbell, and he was wrapped up straight away by Josh Mathy. His numbers, please, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, Josh Mathy's been relatively quiet, boys. He's only up to 7 touches today, but he has been reasonably good when he's had it.
On cue, tries to get a clearance, spills out here to Bradshaw. And the Dogs edge it up the broadcast side wing. Greenhill there. In fact, it was Wilson. The handball was missed there from Gardner towards Julian Hayes. Good pressure against him from Will Bradshaw. Archer Gardner in there for the Hoppers. On to King. Nice kick. Pulls it back, and it's marked here by Minogue. This is Josh. Already got 2 goals. On centre wing, he's got the overlap runner. It's Cal Pattinson. He's got a bit of time and space, and he's able to pick the footy up and go inside 50, looking for Dennis. Great delivery inside 50 for the Hoppers, and Dennis will line up 45 out in a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, much better forward 50 entry, and managed the quicker ball movement put the Dogs defenders offside already.
That is absolutely fantastic play there by North Albury. They're starting to really get some continuity going inside forward 50. They've had 3 marks inside forward 50 from 12 entries this quarter.
They trail by 31 points at quarter time, and this is to bring the margin back to 5. Nathan Dennis loads up, lines up, it's coming back, it's there! A steal line goal today from Nathan Dennis. The margin is back to 5 points. Extraordinary second term from the Hoppers. They've kicked the last 4 goals in this game.
They have just been absolutely fantastic this quarter, North Albury. It's really a tale of 2 quarters as such. Wodonga were all over them in the first quarter, but North Albury, to their credit, have just fought back. They're up to 12 inside 50s, 3 marks inside it, and Timmy Broomhead, he's had the 10 touches, Julian Hayes 15, and George Goody as well. He's up to 10 touches now on the 40-wing stat sheet, Lukey.
Well, Chris Mitchell, you told us at quarter time Timmy Broomhead gave him a blast, and I tell you what, it's worked.
Yeah, only their worst quarter of the season, so they've turned it around really well. And 5 goals to 7, they're right back in this contest.
Yeah, Minogue's been fantastic. He's gone into the ruck now. Goody goes forward. Here they come again. Mark taken, though, on the half-back line. Venturoni. And wants to move it. Mrs. Johnson. Mimo, high hand pass, intercepted by Pattinson. Goody, here come the Hoppers again, inside 50 to the Logan Road end. Wortman put it down for the Bulldogs. Dennis is on his hammer. Wonderful goal moments ago. Ball out of bounds, just adjacent to the scoreboard as we go to Blake Escott for the old Town and Country Tavern.
Yeah, CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. The Hoppers 37, the Dogs 42. All North Albury in this second quarter. The last 4 goals, they trailed by 31 points at quarter time. Definitely looks like there's a scoring end here at Button Park today. Blustery conditions. Boundary throwing inside there, forward 50. Another good tackle from Winter, and another free kick for the Hoppers inside 50, holding the ball. And they're going to line up for 5 in a row, Chris O.
Yeah, the pressure's been outstanding. They've just got their tails up at the moment, don't they, the Hoppers? And under siege, the Dogs' defence, and caught holding the ball. Another directly in front, probably from about 30 metres out.
He's having an outstanding year as Caden Winter, averaging 27 disposals. 10 of those contested. The former North Wagga coach. He'll line up from directly in front, 45 metres out, and the Hoppers have got 5 in a row. Look at them get around him as well. They're up and about, and unbelievably, they lead this ball game by a point on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
That is absolutely astonishing quarter here by North Albury, boys. They have just been absolutely exhilarating, especially winning it out of the midfield as well. Going forward, they're up to 13 inside 50s. They've taken 4 marks inside the 50 as well. And it's just on the back of all their players really contributing. Sam Azai, he's been fantastic. He's up to 9 touches. Broomhead as well, he's got his hands in the footy. Julian Hayes, he's had an outstanding game of 15 touches. They've just caught Wodonga off sleeping, and it's almost as if they kicked 7 goals in the first quarter, Lukey, and it's just absolutely stopped since.
Yeah, that's it, Dan. Chris Mitchell, what price would have you got at quarter time that the Hoppers would be in front of the 20-minute mark of a second term?
You'd be lucky to get $6, wouldn't you?
Oh God, and more.
Unreal. So North Albury lead. If you ducked out to put the washing on the line, or perhaps got the back lawn mowed, they're leading by a point. 43 plays 42. And the Bulldogs go forward again. Ball put to ground. Azai at ground level. Tried to get it up to Hayes. Didn't work. Matey comes boring through. Jorgensen. Strong tackle brought to the turf. What's the umpire going to say? He's going to call for it. Okay. So this game's gone up a couple of notches. This is exactly what we want. Stick with us on O&M Live. Here's Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
The Hoppers emerge out of defence once again. It's been turned over. Noah Bradshaw has to get a hand pass away. Jorgensen on hands and knees. Spills out here to Matey. Can they get one against the run of play here, the Hoppers? Sorry, the Dogs. They can't. North Albury, exit defence. Anderson up against Venturoni. Anderson wins out. Did he cop one high? Well umpired, I think. He had his head down pretty low. Good tackle there from Broomhead. And he's given away a free kick here. It's a free kick here to Liam Andrews for the Wodonga Bulldogs on the far side here. The supporters are finding their voice here at Button Park as well, Dan. The Hoppers by a point, 43 plays 42. We've played 21 minutes of the Macca's time clock. The Dogs kick it to half forward, and it's seen over the boundary line for a throw in. We've played, as I said, 21 minutes, second term for Wang Motor Group. It's all happening here, Lukey Francis, for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
It is so, Panda. This game is alive. Dan, just give us our inside 50 count, thanks to 40 Wings.
Yeah, so massive difference here, boys. So 13 inside 50s for North and only 5 for Wodonga.
Wow. Cooper, hands down in front. Broomhead got torn off the ball, didn't have it, and he will get the free kick, Tim. Gee, hasn't he just carried his team on his back this quarter? He's just on the defensive 50 paint. Alamein Avenue side. It's been wonderful for the North Albury Football Club, this guy. Since they signed him, he's gone to the fullback position. Hayes, luckily had enough time. Comes out this way to Brown. And he's got Flynn Gardner running for him short. Penny's calling for it down the line in front of our broadcast spot. Beautiful mark. Wonderful effort. And the Hoppers have possession.
So he's kicked 2 goals this quarter, Jack Penny. Kicks long to half forward. 1v2 here. Johnson could have won out. Spills here to Polkinghorne for North Albury, who has a bit of run and dash. Hand passes inside forward 50. Minogue applies a strong tackle, and the Hoppers will ball it up inside 50 for them. 20 metres out from their goal. They've kicked the only 5 sausage rolls in this second term for Wang Motor Group. They trailed by a point at quarter time. Lots of plays around this pill as it's balled up, and we've got another ball up inside forward 50 once again. Late stages of this second quarter. We've played 23 minutes. In fact, there's a free kick here to Josh Mathy, and he switches the footy. It's been marked here by Charlie Morrison, the captain for the Dogs.
Yeah, and away goes Morrison. Trying to get wheeled in. Great work from Hayes. He's having a super year. And he's able to defensively fist that ball out of ground. Yep, so 42. The Bulldogs trail North Albury 43.
Haven't scored this quarter, Lukey.
That's it, Panda. On the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second term brought to you by the Wangaratta Motor Group. Let's have a look. Far side, and it comes again. Cooper and Nugent. Cooper regathers, brought to ground, holding the ball. And Nugent will get the kick. In fact, the Bulldogs wanted to play on through Yellon, but it will be called back.
Yeah, and a really good inside 50 there. So 14 inside 50s for North Albury to Wodonga's 5 this quarter. So complete dominance by North Albury.
Here's Matt Wilson at half forward. Has to retreat to Mimo, who does well to keep it in. So does Cassidy for the Dogs. Hand pass it to Wilson. That was intercepted by Jack Reynolds, who's having some game for North Albury on the far side. They win it back, though, the Dogs, through Yelland. Mathy has to hand pass it straight away on to Mimo, who goes into the pocket. Azai with the defensive fist for the Hoppers. Clears the danger. Broomhead, interestingly, kept it in, did he? He didn't, no. Boundary throw in, 55 around from the Dogs' goal. Dan Vaccaro for 40 Winks.
Josh Mathy for Wodonga, boys. He's trying to steer their ship. He's had a huge second quarter. He's up to 10 touches this quarter and 13 for the game.
43 plays 42 on the CMV Truck and Buzz scoreboard. Hoppers lead by a point. We've played 25 on the Macca's time clock. Second term.
Okay, so edge of the 50 now at the Sports Club end. Reynolds out the back to Hayes. And then on to Tim Broomhead. Look at that kick. Straight up the middle. He's missed a teammate though, O'Sullivan. And then the Bulldogs going inside 50 along the ground. Foster Gardner came out. Andrews got a hand to it. It's at bootlace level. Bounces up to Foster Gardner. On those, blue wheels. Gets Anderson. Then off to Polkinghorne. Short one. Gets Campbell. They're moving it quickly here through the heart of Button Park. Oh! Siren beats them, but a massive second turn from the Hoppers. Wow. Right back in this contest, and would you believe they're in front if you just tune back in on O&M Live. North Albury 6-7-43 lead. The Wodonga Bulldogs 7 straight 42, and that brings the long break. This is O&M Live, and remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
I'm sure brought to you by the Wangaratta Motor Group. What an absolutely cracking game of O&M footy have we got on our hands here. It is round 10, does not get any better. It is North Albury 6-7-43, leading Wodonga Bulldogs 7-0-42. I'm Chris Mitchell, with me is Dan Vaccaro. How do we sum up that unbelievable second quarter from the Hoppers, Daniel?
What an effort by North Albury in that second quarter. They were brilliant. They were able to transfer the footy really relatively quickly. They were able to win it out of the midfield and fight back, and who would have thought they'd be 1 point up at half time? They were smashed in the first quarter and they came back really strong.
Absolutely they did. They were 31 points down at quarter time. Tim Broomhead pulled them in, and nice and closely, mind you, and said it was the worst quarter of football they've played all season, 10 rounds into the season. So that was saying something, but did they turn it around? Jack Penny was outstanding in the second half of that quarter. Goals, Caden Winter, Nathan Dennis, 2 to Penny and 2 to Minogue so far.
Yeah, well, how impressive. And yeah, as you mentioned, Tim Broomhead pulled him in and gave him a couple of home truths in that quarter time huddle, but he's led from the front as well in that quarter. He had 8 touches that quarter, which brings his total to 13. And we're going to go around the grounds for the Old Town and Country Tavern. However, I am just trying to get some sort of connection on my phone and I can't even pull up the scores, Mitchie.
We think it is a pretty close one between Albury and Yarrawonga. 5 points was the difference, I believe, last time we had a look at that one, Daniel. But that's obviously down the road at the Albury Sports Ground. Plenty to play for in that one. And we had the argument pre-game whether that was the greatest rivalry in the O&M, and you believe it is so.
I believe it's up there. I think it's probably in the conversation of sort of the 2 or 3. You mentioned the Wang Derby, which is huge, and then you've got the in-town derby of Wodonga and Raiders. They obviously haven't been at their strongest in the last sort of decade, but that's no rivalry. That they hate each other too, those two teams, and then you've got just from purely the grand finals that were played over almost a whole decade between Yarra and Albury, you can't say that it's definitely not one of the biggest rivalries in O&M footy.
Always have a good contest, the Pigeons and the Tigers. Let's turn our attention back here to Bunton Park. Absolutely thrilling contest here. Pretty good crowd too, mind you, for a bit of a cold, blustery day here in North Albury. But Noah Bradshaw did the job on Tim Broomhead early in the first quarter, but he turned the tide in the second quarter. What were his disposals for the second quarter?
So Tim Broomhead, he had had 5 touches in the first quarter, and I felt like his influence was really nullified. Even though he did touch it 5 times, he didn't do a lot with it. And then that second quarter, it's almost as if they shook the tag. I think Bradshaw was running his way, and I think Broomhead started to run his way. So I think they sort of just went head-to-head, and Tim Broomhead won out. He had 8 touches that quarter. Mind you, I think Noah Bradshaw's been really solid for Wodonga as well. So it'll be interesting to see how much that matchup nullifies both teams' influence in the second half. But again, they've just had fantastic players all over the ground that half. Sam Azar, he had 5 touches, but he was really effective. Julian Hayes had 7. Even George Goody had 7 as well. I felt like he was work in the coalface was really, really solid, and he's going head-to-head with Matey as well. So that's a really, really good contest.
In the engine room, Foster Gardner and Flynn Gardner, I thought, were really impressive as well. Obviously, Tim Broomhead got his hands on the footy a lot more, but he was more damaging with his disposals and got a lot of clearances as well. But they managed to keep the ball in their defensive half, in their forward half for repeat entries, didn't they?
Well, they had the perfect quarter, Chris, because you just mentioned it then. They were able to keep the footy in their 50. Probably the only thing that wasn't great that quarter from North Albury was probably their kicking in 50 was still a little bit to be desired, but I thought the way they were able to hold the ball in and the way they were able to transition the ball on the rarity that Wodonga went forward was second to none, and that's why they just kicked goals after goals that quarter and were able to have 15 inside 50s that quarter.
And you mentioned his name before too, Sam Azar. He didn't get a lot of the footy, but what he did do was outstanding. Really straightens them up there, the Hoppers, doesn't he? And obviously intercept marking is fantastic as well.
He does. He almost reminds me of how Wodonga rely on Tom Johnson a little bit as well. When you saw the first quarter, Tom Johnson was just pinpointing that kick sort of up that middle of the ground and getting them out straight away. Sam Azar was almost doing that for North on the other end in that quarter. His kicks where you've got players that will look at a 20-metre pass sideways, where Sam Azar's not that. He'll turn and take on a player to get a kick inside the middle of the ground, and that really paid dividends for North Albury in that quarter.
What if we turn our attention to the Bulldogs? I thought Jorgensen was fantastic around the footy, really set them up going forward. Angus Baker has been outstanding when he's gone near it. Looks like he's scoring every opportunity. He's got a couple on the board as well, but who have you been impressed with from Wodonga?
Well, the Angus Baker one's a really interesting one because he was by far the best player on the ground in the first quarter. He had 10 touches and 2 goals. I haven't really kept an eye on it. He's only touched the ball 3 times that quarter. So it's almost as if they're putting some
Didn't get
work
it down to him, though, did they?
Didn't get it down to him because he probably was playing, I'd say, 60% forward as well. So that's probably a lot to do with it. I think Josh Matthew's really a lone soldier for Wodonga in that quarter in the midfield. He had he had 10 touches and 13 for the game. So after a quiet first quarter, he was fantastic for Wodonga. He's really trying to drive him, and in a quarter where Wodonga's pressure just wasn't good enough, he was the only person that really stood out. I also think Jack Yallen, he might not be touching the ball a lot. He's only touched it 5 times, but he's under every single pack as well. So he's just a really big body that Wodonga need to learn to utilise in the second half.
Totally agree with that one. And I thought Johnson was fantastic in the first quarter. Didn't really side him a lot in the second, but you couldn't say they had many winners across the board in the second quarter.
Well, I think what North were able to do is Tom Johnson probably almost had just as many looks at it in an intercepting marking point of view, but North Albury were able to halve a contest and bring it to ground. So Tom Johnson in the marking contest, he had a lot more pressure, and he probably had 2 blokes floating near him because obviously North have caught on. They know how important Tom Johnson is. If Tom Johnson takes 4 intercept marks a quarter, he's going to kill you, and they're going to win. So that's what North were able to nullify his influence. They were just able to halve the contest, and he wasn't be able to pinpoint that kick in the middle of the ground as well.
All right, well, the Hoppers are back on the ground, so we might take a short break. That was the O&M halftime show, brought to you by the Wangaratta Motor Group on O&M Live. You won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
On 3NA.
Half time, almost done and dusted here at Button Park. North Albury have been out here for a good 5 minutes running around. Look at the Auskick kids getting around them as well, which is great to see. The umpires have only just gone out on the ground, and Wodonga Bulldogs have only just gone out on the ground as well. Interesting half-time break. I got a bit of indigestion, boys. I've just smashed down a hot dog and a potato cake at the Button Park canteen, which is fantastic as well.
6 potato cakes, I reckon.
Yes, indeed, Dan Vaccaro. The Hoppers, extraordinary quarter. The only 5 goals in that quarter. They trailed by 31 points at quarter time, 42-11. They are now unbelievably lead at half time, 6-7-43 to Wodonga Bulldogs, 7 straight 42. Dan Vaccaro, what sort of response are you expecting from Wodonga in the early stages of this third term?
Yeah, well, Wodonga just got to start winning out of the midfield. I think the one thing that North did really well at that half time, and I was discussing with Chrissy, is they were able to nullify Tom Johnson's influence off the half back line, because he really propelled Wodonga into forward 50 entries, and they were able to halve all these marking contests. So they've got to get him back into the game, and they've got to start winning at the coalface, Lukey.
Yeah, they certainly do, Dan, don't they? Because I didn't see that second term coming from the Hoppers, even though we know Chris Mitchell passed on the mail that Tim Broom had really got into them and wanted a response in the second term.
And he led from the front as well. He had 8 touches that quarter and 13 for the game, so he's really playing a captain's role for them at the moment. And yeah, Wodonga need a response, and they're a good enough team to do it. They've just got to work out how to do it.
Absolutely. So, yep, an absolute, as they say, Dan, a half of 2 quarters.
It really is, wasn't it?
Yes.
And you'd almost make the argument that North might be favourites. They had a better second quarter than what Wodonga did in the first quarter, is my argument. So they're going favourites, Panda.
So, breeze still an issue here at Button Park. Still blustery conditions, you can hear in our effects mic. So it's favouring the Logan Road end of the ground, clearly. That's the scoring end. We've had 12 of the 13 goals from that end of the ground, Luke Francis, and only the 1 goal at the Sports Club end. Just by the way as well, the North Albury Sports Club broken into overnight, the North Albury Football Netball Club, same with the Wodonga Bulldogs Football Netball Club, and also we believe the Murray Fields at Albury, so the Albury Steamers and East Albury Cricket Club and Football Rugby Club broken into as well, which is not what you like to see at all, Lukey Francis. So let's hope that those people are found and dealt with, which is not what you like to see, because you see that board over there covering a hole in the glass, which is awful to see.
So do we know much damage done here, Peter, or much taken?
Well, they tried to get into the canteen. You could see the damage to the shutters. Nothing taken. We believe not much taken from anywhere else, which is the positive out of that. But unfortunately, there are some nasty people in the world, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, I prefer to call them grubs, Panda. But you're absolutely right. Yeah,
Just back to the footy too, boys. I've noticed that Liam Andrews has got his shirt on and he's walked to the bench and he doesn't look like to be starting. So if we can go down to Chris Mitchell and try and get us an update on that, that'd be great.
Well, Chriso's right below us, and I hope he's going to go and walk straight over the Wodonga bench and find out what the issue is with Liam Andrews. The umpire holds the footy aloft. We're about to get underway for STY medals here in this third quarter. The Hoppers by a point. Nugent with the tap down. Noah Bradshaw with the first clearance. And the Dogs go forward. They etch it up to half forward. Flynn Gardner was first there for the Hoppers. Here's a chance as Cassidy goes inside forward 50. Baker got hands to it. Spills here to Jorgensen. Quick snap. Goal. Just the start the Dogs wanted. We've played 20 seconds. And they've kicked the first goal. A steal line goal today from Jorgensen. He's got 2. And as I said, Chris Mitchell, that is the start the Dogs would have wanted. Well, he can't get his microphone working down there, Chris. So
we'll go to me,
we'll go
boys.
to Dan Vaccaro.
Adam Jorgensen is playing one of the best 8-possession games I've ever seen. He just looks so deadly for Wodonga going forward. He's had 2 goals himself, but he's set up probably about 3 as well. So exactly the start Wodonga wanted. They won it out of the midfield on the back of a Josh Matthew clearance as well, Lukey.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. So Adam Jorgensen got the first goal for the Bulldogs today at the Logan Road end, and he's got the first goal of his second half.
8 straight, the Dogs too.
Okay, back in the middle again. Here we go, Nugent. And then it ends up with Broomhead to Cooper. Ball goes out to Penny and on to Polkinghorn. Nicely worked inside 50. Good mark to Minogue. So they want the quick response, and they could get it, Chris Mitchell, for Waters.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass there to Minogue, wasn't it? Big Dukes. He wasn't going to drop that one, but the distance might test him a little bit. I reckon he'll be kicking from about 51, 52.
He's got great Dukes, Josh Minogue. I think he's up there with Lee Williams and a few others with some of the best Dukes in the comp.
What a guy to have roaming around in your forward 50. Josh Minogue. And he's shooting at his third. Early third term, latches onto it. High ball going to the goal square, won't have the legs. Big pack goes up, knocked through by Wortman for one behind. So 44 plays 48. Bulldogs leading. 2 minutes in on the Macca's time clock. Dan Vaccaro.
Got the makings of a nice little shootout, I reckon, in the second half. Back as we go back to Panda.
Chris O, looks like Michael Driscoll very, very sore here for the Dogs.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a leg injury, but I'll keep you updated. The other injury was delayed concussion for the Doggies, so they're one man down on the bench already.
For Liam Andrews.
Liam Andrews.
Yep. Alrighty, so if Michael Driscoll, he's limping right off now to our boundary right on our side. I think he had ankle issues last week as well, Michael Driscoll, so I wonder if it's the same one. They could be 2 down here in this third quarter. They're 8 straight 48. North Albury 6-8 44 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Boundary throw in, far side of Button Park, right in front of the Oz Kickers. Really good crowd in here at Button Park as well on this Saturday Arvo.
Been slowly filtering in. It looks awesome now along the other side of the ground.
The Hoppers up and about, their supporters up and about, wanting to come back. The Dogs need to get a win in this SSNA Ovens and Murray competition as Goody. His kick is sailing out of bounds on the full, and it will be a Wodonga Bulldogs free kick at half back. Left half back. They've kicked the first goal this third quarter inside 20 seconds through Jorgensen.
Well, we've only had one goal kicked up the other end all game.
Johnson steers one to O'Sullivan. Defensive 50 for the Bulldogs. Sports Club end. Wants to get it to Gus Jones. Minogue came in, made a contest of it. Campbell gets it out to Goody. Goody goes in, puts it out in front of Dennis. Bouncing ball. Nathan grabs it now. High tackle against Morrison. Umpire said play on. Must have thought he tried to duck it.
That had to be holding the ball then.
Well, it had to be one or the other.
Yep.
Let's go back down to you, Chris Mitchell, for Waters. What are your thoughts on that one?
I actually like that it was sort of play on. I think he didn't have a lot of opportunity to get rid of it, but it was a good tackle from Charlie, and then he got some help from a teammate.
Winter coming through the stoppage with pace. He's going to win a free kick for in the back. Chris Mitchell for the Newmarket.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Panda. Yeah, in the back from Matey there. Just a little bit of a knee, but big price to pay, particularly after that great early goal. So Winter's going to come back for a shot at goal.
His numbers, please, Dan Vaccaro.
Caden Winter, this will be his 8th.
And he's already kicked a goal as well, so quite a game possession-wise. But he's lining up for goal number 2. He'll kick from 35 metres on a 45-degree angle to the North Albury Button Park Club Room end of the ground. This would only be the second goal at this end of the ground all day. He comes through and he makes no mistake. And the Hoppers get a reply here in this third quarter. They're back in front by 2 points. They go to 7-8-50. The Dogs 8 straight 48. And Dan Vaccaro's right. It's shaping up as a beauty here at Button Park.
It is, and what a response there by North Albury. They've got everything sorted at the moment. They've been inside forward 50 twice. Wodonga going inside forward 50 once, but really good start here. George Goody, I thought, was fantastic. The one thing that Wodonga really need to do there, if we go back to that contest, Jet Cassidy thought he had the overlap here and he ran away from the contest. He really had to affect that marking contest there and bring the ball to ground off Tommy Johnson.
Macca's time clock has just ticked over 5 minutes in the third term. Chris Mitchell, Caden Winter went with the old Matthew Lloyd there. He picked up the grass and threw it in the air.
I can understand that. The wind's been doing all sorts today, so if you could channel a bit of Matty Lloyd.
Taylor, here's another one for the Hoppers into Minogue. Great football. Gee, this is just a great game we've got on our hands. So Josh with 2 on the board, had a chance at 3 early in the term. And again, another chance here, Chris Mitchell.
Quick movement just opened up the Dogs' defence, didn't they? Looked like they had all the time in the world, and it was an easy overhead mark from Minogue.
So this ball will shift from left to right, judging by Caden Winter's previous goal. Here goes Josh. Absolutely perfect. They get another. North Albury 56, lead the Bulldogs 48 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone about 6 minutes here in the third term. Van Vaccaro.
What a finish there by Minogue. He's just an unbelievable footballer. And we said before, one of the best clamps in the comp. He's probably one of the best big forwards in the comp, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Wodonga there. He just went to ground in the last minute there, Wodonga, and was able to get a clear entry inside forward 50. They've gone inside 50 3 times this quarter, North Albury, for 2 marks as well. So really, really accurate going in.
Chris Mitchell, any update on Michael Driscoll on the Dogs bench?
He was throwing things when he went to the bench, and he's getting his ankle iced up, I think, at the moment, so we might have seen the last of him today.
Horrible stuff, because they're already 1 down with delayed concussion from Leon Andrews, so the Dogs could be 2 down here, and they're 8 points down. They do go back inside forward 50. As I had to get a fist in defence. Spills out here to Ramage for the Hoppers. They got more numbers here. Hayes had to get rid of it, back to Ramage, and this is good play here by the Hoppers. Goody got a quick hand pass back to Ramage. He got 3 possessions in that little ring of play there, and all of a sudden it's out of bounds. So that's a win there for North Albury. Good pressure from Wodonga. It'll be tossed back into play. Centre wing right next to the North Albury bench, who have answered with 2 of the last 3 goals after Jorgensen kicked 1 in the first 20 seconds here in this third term. They lead by 8. We've played 7 on the Macca's time clock for STY medals.
Yeah, Pink Ladies Day here at Button Park. You're watching on Optus TV, the Vision. Hoppers with a yellow front Guernsey, pink back. Great day for charity. And again, we've got another stoppage here. Up against the Wodonga Bulldogs. Had the bye in round 6, and then they lost to the Rovers, the Albury Tigers, and the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Now 5-3, sitting in 4th spot. Polkinghorn gathers it, goes to Azai, back to Polkinghorn. In a very short ball, not sure who that was to. I think he just wanted the line in the end. Mimo to Johnson, and then a terrible kick. He's blown that one off the side of the boot, and the Hoppers will get it back. Through King on the halfback flank, Panda on the Alamein Avenue side.
Dan Vaccaro, stats in this third term for 40 Winks.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. So George Goody has started the quarter off really well. He's up to 4 touches this quarter and 15 for the game, so he's been really good in that coalface. Sam Azai, Broomhead, Winter all touching the footy as well.
Tom Googly, Bear Anderson gets it on the boot quick, and North Albury have another inside 50. Gus Jones first there, has to get rid of it for the Dogs. This is really good heat here from North Albury. Spills out here to Isaac Campbell on the left. Out of bounds on the full. And the Dogs will win it back. They're under a lot of pressure here in this third quarter. They trail by 8. North Albury 8-8-56. The Dogs 8 straight 48. We've played 8 minutes and the Macca's time clock. It's in the hands of Charlie Morrison in defence for the Dogs.
Here he goes, Morrison, long out of the fence. Big sweeping kick, bouncing ball. Hayes had to go back with the flight. Brown off to Goody. Into Brown. Tight in the contest.
And Oscar Wilding, boys, has just limped off as well, so that could be another one for Wodonga.
Yeah, so injuries could take its toll in this footy game. So work on Nugent, down to Matt Wilson. Anderson had him. Archer Gardner to Goody. Ball out of bounds just opposite the Wodonga Bulldogs bench. As we go back down to Chris Mitchell for Wattis.
Yeah, it's just firing up between Yelland and Goody, and Gardner's just trying to step in to put out the fire. But all love and hate, all good in hate and love.
Who would you back in that fight, Panda? Goody or Yelland?
Yelland would eat him alive. Boundary throw in, right in front of our commentary position. Riley Smith didn't get boot to ball. Yep, free kick here to Mathy for the Wodonga Bulldogs. His numbers, please, Dan Vaccaro.
Mathy's about to have his 15th, boys.
And he's kicked the goal as well. Josh Mathy, half back, fisted out of bounds by Julian Hayes, and he gets the applause from the North Albury bench. Play right on our commentary position. And the best part about the scaffold here at North Albury, you're right on top of the ground. It's great to see. The Hoppers 8-8-56, the Dogs 8 straight 48. That's for STY medals on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
Green Hill's just running to this contest with one boot, boys, so keep an eye on that one.
Bit of passion, bit of feeling in this game. Such an important contest in the context of this season. So the North Albury Hoppers, 3 and 5 in 7th spot on the ladder. Wodonga Bulldogs, as we said, 5 and 3 in 4th spot. Cassidy over the top. Jewel tried to rip through. Poking on over it. Off to Archer Gardner. To King. Then to Hayes, and they move it across the half-back line to Azai. Athletic player. Defensive 50. He wants to come back this way. To Brown.
Got an overlap, North Albury.
Calling for it. He's going to try and get it to King. So that's come off. Good hand pass to Penny. Inboard to Foster Gardner. Now here they go, the Hoppers. They're building on something. Don't know about that one, though. Wild hand pass. Put Winter under pressure. Back to Foster. Spears it into the middle. And Anderson is about to go forward here. Gets it off to Azai. Here they come, the Hoppers.
Azai inside 50. Minogue with the big jerks. Marks top of the 50. Wants to play on straight away. Taylor. Leighton Taylor marks out in front. A Mawson's concrete play today. Great movement from North Albury, and Taylor will line up for goal number, well, he's first, 30 metres out in a slide angle.
Just quickly, boys, Minogue is one of the most impressive footballers this season. That was unbelievable there, that mark. And then that kick to hit his teammate as well. He is a very valuable player, Lukey.
So Leighton Taylor shooting for his first goal today. This would take the margin out to 14 points. Leighton Taylor shoots from 30. It's home. The Hoppers have kicked 3 on the trot. They're breaking away from the Dogs here in this third quarter for STY medals. The margin's out to 14. Chris Mitchell, boundary side for Waters.
It's just a great build-up, wasn't it? They ran in waves, and they were quite patient with their handballs and swapped to the other side of the ground. But a beautiful jukes there from Minogue to mark the ball at its highest point and then find Leighton Taylor, who I'm not sure why he was trying to mark it the way he did. It should have been an easy chest mark. He made it look difficult, but it was a nice kick in the end.
Really good finish there by North Albury as well. And as we just said, the whistle go in there.
8 of the last 9 goals, the Hoppers.
12 and a half gone, Macca's time clock. Game in the balance. The Bulldogs need to respond. They need the next one. Here come the Hoppers again. So Anderson looking for Reynolds. On the outer side, Jack on the boot, in forward. Mark taken by Smith, wants to play on quickly. Now here's Minogue, he's at the back. And then a good defensive fist from Charlie Morrison. Gets it out of bounds, but they're at the wrong end, the Bulldogs. They need to be at the attacking end if they are to stay in this football game. Dan Vaccaro for 40 wins.
Holding on for dear life here with Wodonga, boys. 2 inside 50s this quarter to North Albury 6. They've got to change something.
They are 2 down. You feel for it. Michael Driscoll limped off earlier. Coming through with pace here was Winter on to Cal Pattinson. In fact, it's Penny. And it's out of bounds on the full. Or it's a behind in the end. So a miscue there from Jack Penny. A dangerous position once again and a missed chance. Wodonga breathe a sigh of relief. They need a panic button here, the Dogs. North Albury 9-9-63. The Dogs 8 straight 48. It's a 15-point margin on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We played 13 on the Macca's time clock in this third term.
Johnson. Fullback position. Such an important play, this one. That is a beautiful kick. Good hit to Jewel. Another big long kick. Now Smith's in front here of the contest to Yellen. Jack's out the back, picks it up now. Smith's got him. Yellen swung around on the boot left. Brown mops up. Short one. Pattinson comes in. Handball up to Broomhead. Then back to Flynn Gardner. Virtually does a 360. Comes out to Campbell, half-back flank. And the Hoppers defence holds up. Trying to get Winner, but they turn it over to Baker. So here's their chance for the Dogs.
Baker just wants to slow things down just a little bit. You can hear Adam Jorgensen on the bench yelling out to Wortman, take the game on, and that's what he does in the direction of Jewel. Great fist. In fact, it was Wilding. Great fist from Sam Azai, who's playing some game and a contender for our Waters player of the day. Boundary throw in inside 50. They need to make something of this, the Wodonga Bulldogs. They trail by 15. That's how long we've gone in this third term. Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, it's a great defensive effort there by Azai. He's been nearly unstoppable today, but they don't want to play it into his hands by kicking it long.
Noel contested the ruck against Jewel. He picks it up and he snaps a goal. Just what they needed. 63 plays 54. So just over 15 gone on the Macca's time clock third term. What a game this is, Chris Mitchell for Waters.
It's just goal for goal, isn't it? But the Dogs won't die wondering. They've been outstanding in the start of this third quarter. But yeah, what a game we've got on our hands. 9-9 to 9-0 at the moment.
Yeah, and what Wodonga have done extremely well today is their kicking in front of goal has just been amazing. So 9 goals, 0 there, and they get one back. Much needed goal. And can they take it to the last quarter, being under a goal down? And what a last quarter we're going to have, Lukey?
Just what they wanted, the Wodonga Bulldogs, to stay in this contest. We believe they're 2 players down. Liam Andrews out of the game with concussion, and Michael Driscoll maybe an ankle injury. So it's a 9-point margin here to the Hoppers, and Baker emerges with the footy again, tumbles one, back into attack. King up against Sam Jewell. King gets there first, but Jewell wins out. Handball's under pressure, Wilding there. Will Bradshaw for the Hoppers, sorry for the Dogs, gets a hand pass out to Mathy. He snaps on goal. It's coming back. It's not going to get there. Stays in play. Mimo's first there for the Dogs. Tries to keep it in play, but it's a horrible kick. And Isaac Campbell intercepts for the Hoppers. Still inside D50 though. And he just waits and wants to switch the footy back to Flinny Gardner, the oldest of the 4 Gardner brothers. And kicks it across goal. This is now Jack Reynolds, who's been brilliant, I think, on that wing out there for North Albury. Chips over to, that looks like Cade Pup Brown. The Hoppers by 9, halfway gone in this third term for STY medals.
Yeah, so the defence holds up on this occasion, the Hoppers, to Polkinghorn. He went in short to King and then back to Polkinghorn. Nice delivery to Caden Winner. And Caden played on, ordinary kick along the ground. Made it hard for Pattinson. Morrison off to O'Sullivan, brought down in a strong tackle. Umpire's going to ping him.
Goody.
So Winner will get it. He's about 75 out from home. Plays on the boot. Forward entry. Good mark. Charlie Morrison had to take it and did, and he moves it to Mimo. They're in the back pocket, the Wodonga Bulldogs Sports Club and on the broadcast side.
Speaking of Mimo, our cameraman today, Mimo, doing a wonderful job on O&M Optus TV. Hope you're enjoying 3N's O&M Live. We've got a belter here at Bunton. The Hoppers holding on to a 9-point lead up against the gallant Dogs. Mimo switches the football, so the Dogs are going back to the Alamein Avenue side of Bunton. Tommy Johnson, beautiful left leg, finds O'Sullivan. And he goes short, finds Mathy. His number's Dan Vaccaro.
This will be 16th touch, Panda.
Dangerous kick in ball, but it finds Adam Jorgensen in the middle of Bunton Park. They want to switch it back. This is Dan Wortman. Switches to our broadcast side, so from one side to the other. Wilson marks, chips and holds on. Does Mimo right in the middle of Bunton Park. He chips forward here to Jorgensen, so this is good play here for the Dogs. Top of the 50. Call it 55 from home. He's called to play on, and Foster Gardner just snuck up on him. The Dogs tumble one to half forward. It's going to bring rain, this kick. Hayes up against Jack Yelland. Wilson flicks it out here to Baker. Not able to keep it into play. Good defensive pressure here by North Albury.
Yeah, and Ramage is brought down by Matt Wilson. Umpire didn't call for it. Bulldogs bench absolutely fuming.
That was holding the ball.
Just under our broadcast spot. Dennis Mimo beats him to it. Ball at ground level. Players fight away. Look at this. Just boring in for the Pills. We go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Lots of tired bodies coming off the ground at the moment, guys. They're just absolutely spent. The tempo's lifted a notch, that's for sure.
Rightio, Dan. Let's have a look at our 40 winks now. We've reached the 90-minute mark on the Macca's time clock, third term.
It's evened up now, boys. So 7 inside 50s to Wodonga's 5. So a really even contest there as we just get another stoppage. But Adam Jorgensen's been fantastic this quarter. He's had 4. Angus Baker starting to come with his own footy this quarter as well with 4.
So the game in a bit of a holding pattern here. Both teams scrapping for every possession. You can see what this win would mean to both sides. Cal Pattinson under a lot of Wodonga Bulldogs heat on centre wing. Must be 15, 20 players around this Pill, and O'Sullivan just wins a really important 40 wings disposal. Mathy on the boot, inside 50, over the head of Jewel. Sam King tracks him, and it goes over the boundary line, 45 around from the Dogs' goal. 19 minutes played on the Macca's time clock. The Hoppers 9-9, the Dogs 9 straight. It's a 9-point lead here to North Albury in this third term for STY medals.
Gee, Chris, whoever loses this game is going to be stung. It's really going to hurt.
Now, there's nearly a final spot on the line, isn't it, for both sides? If North win, they're right in the mix, and, Wodonga can nearly consolidate their spot in the top 5 for the rest of the season.
That is it. Yeah, it's so important. Bradshaw, Noah brought to ground. Cooper had him. Good tackle. So the Hoppers win it back. Broadcast side, Logan Rodan to Broomhead. Angles into Ramage. Now he's got a man on in Hayes. Julian. He leaves it for Azai. Hoppers still with possession. Inside defensive 50. Now they get out to Foster Garner. Blue boots. Blonde hairdo, Panda. What do you reckon?
I love the bleach. I don't mind it. Bit of sizzle for me.
Retreats to Hayes. Now to Flingarda. Now he's got Brown on out here. So they've come right around. Past the goal square. Back to Goody. Half-back flank, so they're not gaining all that much territory, but they still hold possession.
We'll get an around-the-ground score from Dan Vaccaro soon for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Albury taking on Yarrawonga, first versus second. What a game that is on O&M Optus TV as well. Julian Hayes kicks it out towards the leading Penny, so they're still in defensive 50, North Albury. They've had all the play in the last probably 60 seconds. Now they've flicked it back to the other side. It's in the hand of Sam Azai. He's been outstanding today for North Albury.
15th touch this will be for Sam Azai.
Yeah, genuine contender for our Waters player of the day, that's for sure. Him, Josh Minogue. I think Baker's been brilliant for the Dogs. So Azai hugs the boundary line. Josh Minogue, that man I speak of, couldn't mark. Spills out the back here to Morrison. That is a huge kick to half forward for the Dogs. Azai and Wilding. Contest at half forward, spills to Flynn Gardner. He goes out the back to Fletcher Ramage and he goes short to Hayes.
So Julian Hayes again. How many now, Dan?
Julian Hayes is up to 23, boys.
On the 40-wing stack sheet. So we've got about 4 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Third term. 9-point lead to the Hoppers. Out to Tim Broomhead. And they have had a stack of the ball the last couple of minutes here, the Hoppers, but they're yet to get beyond halfway.
It's a good press here, Chriso, from Wodonga, though. North Albury having a lot of the play, but Wodonga not letting them get out of their own D50.
Nah, spot on, Panda. They keep having to retreat, don't they, just to keep hold of the footy. But you think sooner or later they might turn it over and Wodonga will pounce.
Now Winter, short, missed his target, and Reynolds, beyond him, Cooper to Penny. Here we go. Now they're beyond the halfway mark. On it goes to Campbell. Ball going back to Pattinson. Pattinson on the boot, sends it in. Archer Gardner. Oh, beautiful fist away from Morrison. Goody at ground level. Spits it out the back. Matey goes in. Play for the free kick. And got it too. Good work. He had to do it. And that was wonderful play from Josh.
Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, great work from Matey, but the spoil from Morrison saved a certain goal there. They 2-on-1 and he just got the fist in and to stop the attack from the Hoppers.
Penny was on the tail there of Greenhill. He just had to get rid of it in a nick of time. Gill on the boot. Kicks to half forward. Jewel has 3 Hoppers to beat. It was hacked off the ground there by a Wodonga Bulldog, and it was Wilding. Lots of players bore over this football, and we got a stoppage, 55 out from Wodonga's goal. Wodonga 9 straight, unbelievable kicking, 54. North Albury 9-9-63, 23 played in this third term. Almost up towards time on. Polkinghorn wins it for North Albury. On to Ramage, flicks it to Jack Reynolds. And he retreats back almost to the defensive goal square. Broomhead marks. Goes out wide to Azai. Chips it over the top. Hangs a long time in the air. Anderson had to mark it. He was made to earn it by Angus Baker. And he marked it still on defensive 50. And he wants to retreat back once again. So we've seen this time and time again from the Hoppers. They want to switch the football. Gardner comes out to Julian Hayes. The Hoppers by 9. We've played 24 in this third term.
Beautiful kick from Hayes to Cooper.
Been good again today, Hayden Cooper.
And takes it just on the edge of the square here. Right as centre wing, broadcast side. Now what's he got on? He's going to come this way. Over the top of Taylor. Johnson spears it into the middle. Gets Jorgensen. Nice delivery. And then misses Bradshaw. That was Will. Hoppers have it back. Anderson fires one out to Azai. Put his arm up to shield the sun and then puts it down the line to Reynolds. He's got it. Handball's inside to Foster Gardner. The Hoppers back to Reynolds. Didn't quite come off. Now he picks it up, Jack. Gets it out to Anderson, who rocked up in time. Sends it inside 50. Bouncing ball in front of Johnson and also Minogue. Jorgensen is there. Ball's gone out of bounds on the Alamein Avenue end in front of a good crowd here as we go back to Dan Vaccaro on the 40 wing stats.
Yeah, complete arm wrestle now, boys. You just feel like the game's slowing up a little bit, but 9 inside 50s for North this quarter. To Wodonga's 8, so a really even contest. Sam Azai's been North's best this quarter. He's had 7 touches, and Josh Mathy, absolute bull. He's had the 7 touches respectively as well.
North by 9 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Third quarter for STY Metals. We've played 25 minutes. Not long left in this third term. Ball up at half forward here for North Albury. Broomhead around this footy. Polkinghorn as well. Baker's been wrapped up and he's been stung holding the ball.
Oh, that's harsh.
Harsh call, and it's going to be a free kick here to Jack Reynolds, who's been brilliant for North Albury today out on that far wing. He's 55 from home, Jack Reynolds. So it's late in this third quarter. He goes really short to Azai. Still 57 metres out, you'd say, from their goal. He's going to kick it long. Inside forward 50. Off hands. Down there is Caden Winter, and he was wrapped up straight away here on 3N's R10 Live. And a ball up 40 out from North Albury's goal. They lead by 9 in this third quarter. Not long left now to three-quarter time.
No, that's it. Three-quarter time break right upon us, Panda. Important ball to be won. Smith went through. Yelland. Goody tried to bring him to ground. Cassidy got it out. Jorgensen. Tell you what. Oh, gee, this ball's red hot. Off to Mathy, then out the back. Johnson wants to come this way to Wortman. So the Bulldogs will get out here. And there's a siren. So a 9-point lead at three-quarter time to the North Albury Hoppers over the Wodonga Bulldogs. We're in for a cracking last term here at Bunton Park. This is R10 Live, and remember, on R10 Live, you will not.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
3NE.
Three-quarter time here at Button Park. We've got a beauty on our hands. It's the Hoppers who trail by 31 points at quarter time. They're now up by 9 points at three-quarter time. 63 plays 54. Panda Escott, Luke Francis, Chris Mitchell and Dan Vaccaro with us. Dan, our Optus quarter's best, please.
Thought Sam Azar for North Albury boys was unbelievable that quarter. He had 8 touches and he's had 18 for the game. I also think that Julian Hayes was also really good that quarter as well. And for Wodonga, Josh Matthew is really their lone soldier in the midfield. He's had 8 touches, up to 21 for the game, leading possession getter for the day. And Adam Jorgensen as well. He had 7 that quarter. He's up to 13 for the day and he looks the most dangerous player on the field. Lukey.
Good on you, Dan. Rightio. Well, this is just what we wanted, Panda. Close game, Button Park, round 10 between the Hoppers and the Bulldogs, and we've got it. Let's go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters and see what he could find out of the three-quarter time break. Down to you, Chriso.
Yeah, thanks, Lukey. Wodonga coach Jordan Taylor kept his side in for just until now, really. North Albury just about ready to start. But he very measured, very calm, said the quarter was much better from Wodonga. Want to keep territory from stoppage, so they want to get it forward and keep it in there to give them repeat shots at goal. So that's their task for this quarter. 9 points down. You wouldn't rule them out just yet, but the first goal this quarter is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. We will just go around the grounds for 40 winks. We have just got a score update. It's 61 plays 49, so Yarra leading Albury at the moment. So, and the news I'm getting is Gibbons has done an ankle, boys. So that is just some more bad news.
He's had a wretched run,
Cannot catch a break, that fella.
No, cannot take a break, Michael Gibbons. So if that news is correct, your heart feels for him, who just cannot get any continuity in this SSNA Ovens and Murray competition. I think he's played something like 9 games out of a possible 28, and he had a brilliant run in the AFL for Carlton. I think he hardly missed a game for 3 or 4 years. Isn't it funny, Dan?
It all happens when it rains, it pours, Panda.
Exactly right. So we're just waiting for
purpose ploy here for Wodonga, just to slow everyone down, make North wait a little bit.
I like it. Waiting for spectators.
I don't mind it.
And they did manage his minutes the last fortnight, didn't they, Panda, Mick Gibbons?
Yeah.
So
really quickly, guys. Chriso, who wins from here?
I think North Albury. I think they got their tails up and they look good for me.
Lukey Francis?
Yeah, I've got no reason to change now, Panda. Hoppers.
Dan Vaccaro.
I'm going to stick with Dogs.
Dogs, it would be some win for the Wodonga Bulldogs, who we believe are a couple of men down. 3-quarter time. The Hoppers lead by 9 points. What has this last quarter got in store for us here on 3Ds O&M Live? O&M Optus TV, do not go anywhere. He is Lukey Francis for APCO Wangaratta.
Yeah, stick with us, Nugent and also Cooper. Ball back at ground level. Such an important pill to be won, and it's going to be tied up, and the umpire again is going to call for it. Wow, 9-point lead to North Albury. On their home turf, Nugent left hand, Bradshaw. Back at ground level. So we're going to have another stoppage. Yes, we are. Here's Blake Escott for the old Town and Country Tavern on O&M Live.
Michael Driscoll done for the day for the Dogs, and also Liam Andrews. So 2 men down. Fighting hard. Will Bradshaw not able to get an arm free, and we've got a third consecutive stoppage here to start this 4th quarter for APCO Wangaratta. Still inside the centre square. Goes to show you how much both of these sides want this first clearance. Spills out here to Archer Gardner. Good pressure here from the Dogs. Will Bradshaw wins it. The Dogs going to go inside forward 50. Not his greatest effort. Flynn Gardner falls to ground. Comes out here to Hayes. Intercepted here by Baker. Great tackle from Goody. Wasn't letting him go anywhere. Here's Wilding. He's tackled straight away by Archer Gardner. Not sure he really got rid of that one, and we got a stoppage inside 50 here for the Dogs.
Big news here. Matthew coming off, boys. It looks like maybe a leg injury, ankle.
Wow, this is extraordinary. This would be 3 players down for Wodonga. Josh Mathy very sore.
Yeah, massive news developing here at Button Park with Josh Mathy coming to the bench, Chris, so he doesn't look good at all.
Doesn't look good at all, guys.
Been their best player today, Josh Mathy as well.
Yeah, he's a star.
22 touches and a goal, 2 goals.
For the maroon and white, let's have a look. Such an important clearance to be won. Penny dragged it in, Jorgensen. And then it came out to Goody. On the boot, high ball to centre wing O'Sullivan. She's got good hands.
He's a good player, Jack Sullivan.
He is, and he takes the mark and he wants to belt it back in for the Bulldogs. Well, as I slipped over at the back of the pack, coming through Ramage. Nice work to Hayes, and Hayes says, boys, let's get out of here. He gets him with a thumping kick outside 50. Reynolds got rid of his opponent in Greenhill and has been deemed a push.
Yep.
Chris Mitchell for Waters. What do you think about that?
Oh, I couldn't see much of it. I'm just trying to see what's wrong with Mathy at the moment. I'll keep you updated there.
Down the boundary for Waters, Chris Mitchell doing wonderful work. So no score in this last quarter for APCO Wangaratta. We've played 2 minutes. The Hoppers still by 9. Wilding got rid of Flynn Gardner, and the Hoppers Canberra. They make a lot of voice late in games, Dan Vaccaro.
They absolutely do, and a tough day at the office here for Oscar Wilding. He's just got to have some sort of impact in this last quarter to get Dogs back into the game.
So the fans are finding their voice. Pink Ladies Day here at Button Park. Wonderful atmosphere. It's great to see. Great sweeping handbars from Matt Wilson onto the running Angus Baker, who's been brought down, and a huge tackle. That is a Mawson's concrete play today from young Flynn Gardner. That could be a goal-saving tackle, Chris Mitchell for Waters.
It was a huge tackle, wasn't he? He was running into an open goal too. Would have been a massive goal for Wodonga, but yeah, great tackle. Wrapped him up, holding the ball.
Game-defining tackle, boys.
Yeah, big play in this game. They're all big moments now. Cooper, Greenhill, and then the ball has gone out of bounds. And again, we'll have another boundary throw-in. Left of centre wing, Alamein Avenue side, 63 plays 54. If you've just tuned in on O&M Live, it is the Hoppers up. We're in for a brilliant last quarter. Pink Ladies Day here, round 10. And the Hoppers with a 3-5 record. The Bulldogs 5-3. They've lost their last 3, the maroon and white. They must win this game. The Hoppers will be doing their utmost to hold them out. Here's Jorgensen, wants to go forward inside 50. They get an entry. Hayes over the top. And then Foster Gardner. Gill went in. Archer Gardner came flying out for the Hoppers. Look at him go with pace. Reynolds tried to keep the ball in front of him one-handed. Jet Cassidy swung him around. What's the decision from the umpire? What's going to happen here?
I reckon he's going to get a free.
I reckon he's going to get a free for a dangerous tackle here, guys.
This will be interesting.
Hoppers players remonstrating.
No.
He's trying to sort it out.
He's going to throw it up, I think.
It has to be a free kick for a dangerous tackle. Reynolds is...
He's in a bit of trouble here. He's with the runner.
It's a free kick to North Albury.
It is.
Yep. Jack Reynolds looks a little bit...
Caden Winner's got it, Peter.
Dazed as well. The runners are yelling out to the bench. So we'll have to wait and watch this one as well. Players are falling like flies here at the minute. We believe the Dogs could be 3 down. Mathy is running and doing little runs on the bench at the moment. He's come off with an ankle injury. The Dogs are already 2 down, and the North Albury Hoppers lead by 9. Still early stages in this last quarter. 63 plays 54 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. 5 minutes ticked over on the Macca's time clock as Hayes is at half back. His kick to centre wing hangs a long time in the air. Isaac Campbell just dropped it at the last minute. Winter gets it on the boot, edges it forward for the Hoppers. They want the boundary line. They find the boundary line. Just forward to centre wing, broadcast side. They're holding on here. 63 plays 54. Chris Mitchell, an update on Jack Reynolds for us.
Yep, I can't really see him.
He's right here in this stoppage, so he is completely fine.
Yeah, the trainer just left him, so I presume he's all right.
5.5 gone. Macca's time clock, final term. Gus Jones.
Holding the ball.
Yep, dropped it. Good decision from the umpire. Now, Dan, inside 50s early in my last turn, thanks to 40 Winks.
Well, Wodonga have gone inside 54 times. North Albury haven't, so they're about to go their first entrance now.
Okay, so Cooper, wide to Broomhead.
Just watch North Albury possess the football a little bit here in this last quarter. They did it really well against the Rovers last week.
Here goes Tim. And steers one to Anderson. Umpire pays it. So he's about 75 from home here, broadcast side. It's a slow build-up. And the Bulldogs have had a chance to structure up defensively. Tom is going to wind up here, and that is a sidewinder. Helicopter kick going in. O'Sullivan over the top to Morrison. Second attempt, gets it outside 50. Rolling ball back to Timmy Broomhead. Line coming up. Keeps it in to Anderson. Short one, good play. And he finds Caden Winter.
Yeah, he's lifted in this second half, Dan Vaccaro.
He has. He had 4 touches last quarter, and he's already had 3 for the quarter here.
Kicks over the top. Anderson marks under a lot of heat from Wilson. Tied up against the boundary. He'll have to kick this every bit of 50, Chriso.
Yeah, Wilson was leaning like a glove, but he's gone inboard to Broomhead, who's not that much further inbound. So I reckon he might put it to the top of the square or look to pass it off.
Bad mark in there by Wodonga boys. They had to get Tim Broomhead on the edge of that 50. He can kick the goal here.
I reckon you'll find he's going to have a shot here, Chriso, and I reckon he's got the distance. He's a star, is Tim Broomhead, leading this Hoppers revival in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. He'll kick from 52, 53 metres on a pretty tight angle. Broadcast side, Tim Broomhead launches. It's coming back. It's working back. It's home! What a goal from the coach, Tim Broomhead. A steel line goal of the day. An amazing finish. He took it upon himself, and the Hoppers now lead by 15.
What a goal there by Tim Broomhead, and Wodonga had to be a little bit smarter there, boys. Wodonga just let him have that mark inside forward 50. They really had to find someone to man up on him, but what a finish there by Tim Broomhead, and Wodonga have found themselves in a very difficult position here in the first 8 minutes of this quarter.
Matthew just warming up on the bench, boys. He had a bit of a magic spray put on the leg just under the knee, so we'll hopefully see him back out for the doggies soon.
Chris Mitchell, I don't know if you'd see a better goal kicked at Button Park. I mean, given how windy it is here, he has judged that to perfection, Tim Broomhead, and he steered it through, and what an important 6-pointer it was for the Hoppers.
Yeah, beautiful big goal from the Hoppers coach.
Rightio, back in the middle. And the ball is dragged down. Baker with it, Goody had him. Umpire again will call for it. Here we go. Let's have a look. Comes down to Archer Gardner. High silo kick. And then a big fist over the top from Johnson. Ends up with Caden Winter. Gets onto that left foot. Sends it inside. Wortman has to go back. Morrison comes out. Wortman again going back with it. O'Sullivan tapping it along the ground. Wanting the line here defensively. Will he get it? No. Minogue keeps it in. And then Reynolds. Anderson got a fist to it. Minogue sees it across the chalk. Ball out of bounds. 69 plays 54 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Final term. We have gone 9 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
Another goal might be too far for Wodonga to come back, I reckon, from here. North Albury's been really hard to score against in this second half.
Final quarter for APCO Wangaratta as Lukey Francis slowly dies up here in the scaffold.
I reckon.
The wind just a little bit too much for you at the moment, Lukey.
Yeah, I think I've got a mouthful of fresh air, I think.
Like Paddy Dangerfield, collapsed lung.
Yeah, he's no good.
Lukey
Big danger.
Francis is no good. The Hoppers are. They lead by 15. We've played 9 minutes in this last quarter for Macca's. That's on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Another inside 50 stoppage for them. Every second passes means North Albury edge closer to would be a famous victory. They trail by 31 points at quarter time, we mustn't forget. And they got another boundary throw in. Still inside their attacking 50. Around the grounds, Dan Vaccaro, we've got a score in the Albury-Yarrawonga game. You know what? He's given up. He's given up. He said, I can't be bothered.
I'm sick of these apps not working.
Come on.
Technology, eh?
Yeah. Rightio. So stay tuned for that one. Yeah, big game across town. Tigers versus the Pigeons. Ball comes back into play. Greenhill quickly on the boot. Yellen didn't go the required distance. Play on. Then a high ball going out of defence. As I come over the top for the Hoppers, Jorgensen working away with it. Gets a nice hand pass over the top to Baker. And Baker fires it out into the path of Mimo. Mimo over the top now. And then receives it back and sends it inside 50. Giller's back there. Foster Gardner in front. Foster, I reckon that was a mark. In the end, it was.
Big one-on-one win.
And plays on to Polkinghorne. Now, let's see what they can do here. They're going to move it quickly. He wants Brown. Bouncing ball. Coming through. Wilson. Pattinson, though. It was, and then got it to Polkinghorne. Down the line, in front of Taylor. Good fist from Morrison again. Wortman goes at it. Morrison receives it back, gets it on the boot. Round the body, bouncing ball in front of Foster Gardner. Off his boot. Just gets to the line. Bounce Pryor. And we'll go back to Dan Vaccaro on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, 6 inside 50s for Wodonga, but what a play there by Charlie Morrison. That's why he's one of the best backmen in the league. He affected the marking contest and followed up an inside 50 as well.
Importantly for the Dogs, Josh Mathy has limped back onto the ground, so he's fighting on tough here. Jorgensen spills out the back. It's dribbling through. It's there.
What a goal.
Something from nothing, and Jorgensen kicks his third steel line goal of the day. Extraordinary dribbling finish from 30 metres out. And the Dogs bring the margin back to 9 points on the Work Like a Wenger at a scoreboard.
Yeah, much needed goal there for Wodonga and a great finish there by Jorgensen. And I have just gotten around the grounds update. I don't have the score, but apparently Albury are up by 23 points in the last quarter as well, Panda.
Yeah, wow. So if that's right, the Tigers really getting away to a 4-goal break at the Albury Sports Ground. Back here at Bunton Park, North Albury. The Hoppers up by 9. What a goal from Jorgensen.
He's been their best today, Lukey.
He has. That is right, Dan. And Chris Mitchell, that was absolutely deliberate along the ground from Adam.
Threw it on the boot, didn't he? But he got the perfect bounce over the Hoppers defender's head right on the goal line.
Minogue, he's been great for the Hoppers today. Inside 50 now to the Logan Road end. Winter runs onto it. Is there a quick response? Yes, there is. Yes, there is from the Hoppers. Wow. What a game this is. So they hit back at Bunton Park, and that virtually cancels out Adam Jorgensen's goal, and that's 3 for Caden.
He has been fantastic in this second half. We said it earlier. He had 4 touches in the last quarter. He's had 5 already this quarter, and he's been fantastic. And what a fight back there by North Albury, winning it in the coalface.
So he is a contender for our Waters player of the day, certainly Caden Winter. 3 goals, and North Albury, more importantly, take the margin out to 15 points as the condition of Luke Francis gets really worrying up here in the scaffold at North Albury. We might have to get a couple of the Wodonga boys down on the boundary to finish off for our man Lukey, who's struggling here in the commentary box.
Needs a beer.
He does indeed. So North Albury 75, the Dogs 10 straight 60, yet to register a blemish. Extraordinary kicking. What do they have here? Do they have a last yelp? They're going inside forward 50, just over the head of the jewel stick. Out the back here, King mops up for North Albury. Hand passes to Hayes. He was tackled straight away by Cade Mimo for Wodonga. Umpire says stalemate. I'll have it, thank you very much. 50 metres out from the Dogs' goal.
We're calling for in the back, but I think it was a great call from the umpire.
Dan, what's our standout stat of the final term here at Bunton Park?
Oh, you put me on the spot there, Lukey. Adam Jorgensen, he's had the 4 touches, but he's kicked their goal. He's been one of their best players today.
Yeah, he has. Jewel, that's not going to do it, I don't reckon. Timmy Broomhead gets back, saves it from going out of bounds, and takes the mark. So the Hoppers have got it. Back pocket. They lead by 15, 14-minute mark on the Macca's time clock final term. Winter, it's been wonderful today. He's kicked a treble. Been in everything, Caden. The former North Wagga Saints captain. Here he goes. Down the line with that dump kick. True centre wing. Let's have a look. Oh, good mark taken from Taylor. Here he goes, Leighton. On Pink Ladies Day here at Bunton Park. Pink Guernseys. Pink back, yellow front. Oh, no, turned over here to Bradshaw. This is Noah and he's away, Panda.
Kicks to half forward. It's all hoppers, though. Take your pick. Spills out here. Extraordinary here to Jet Cassidy, who's able to get around one, and hand passes to Matthew, who just fumbled at the crucial time. He saw Josh Matthew.
He's limping around.
He's limping around, and he might get stung here holding the ball. The umpire's circling. No, ball up. 50 out from the Dogs' goal. They were out there. All he had to do was take the mark and hand pass onto a teammate inside 50. You just let the hoppers in. Stoppage. Still at the Wodonga end of the ground. They need the next. They trail by 15 points. Halfway mark of the last quarter for Atco Wangaratta. Here's George Goody, North Albury's captain. Kicks down the line. Johnson! Not a bad little mark there. Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Plays on straight away to Mathy. On to Mimo. Not a great hand pass. It just allows the pressure to come from North Albury, who force another stoppage at the top of the 50 for the Dogs. North Albury still lead by 15. 15 minutes gone in this last quarter for Maccas.
Rightio, Chris Mitchell. What are your thoughts for Waters here in the final term?
Well, it's just a real arm wrestle, but Wodonga's goals have dried up. That's the real problem. I think they're struggling to kick a winning score this game. So going to be interesting. They wanted to lock it in the forward half, and I don't think they've done that so far.
Yeah, here we go. Umpire sends it up. Minot got a fist to it. And coming through Polkinghorn, brought to ground. And the umpire again is going to have a 15-point lead to what would usually be the green and gold, but they're yellow and pink this afternoon for a great cause. And then
just
brought
quickly,
to ground again, Caden Winner.
Just quickly around the ground, boys, scores a level between Yarra and Albury, 62 apiece, 6 minutes in the last.
So is that a 24?
No, that was the wrong score.
It was
Someone's
wrong.
playing funny buggers.
Okay, so it wasn't right. Minot smothered from Johnson. Off to Gardner. That was Archer. And then Hayes got it back to Archer, but Gill got it for the Bulldogs. He's at the bottom of the pack. And the umpire's going to call for a panda as we go to you for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Yeah, going to be hard now for Wodonga. 16 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter. It's on the Macca's time clock. Every stoppage, every ball up and boundary throw-in just takes time off the clock here for Wodonga. Jorgensen was wrapped around the head. That's not going to be downfield. It's going to be a free kick where he kicked it from, which was just inside the centre square. So it was as he kicked it. So he's 65 out, Adam Jorgensen. Goes into the pocket. It was the lead of Wilding. Wasn't a great kick. It hit the deck. Wilding might win it here for the Dogs. Hand passes out here to Noah Bradshaw. It was a great tackle there from Tom Anderson from North Albury. Goody jumps on the footy. Baker jumps on him. And a ball up still, 50 around from Wodonga's goal. Alamein Avenue side of Bunton. Hoppers by 15. The Dogs need the next. We've played 17 minutes. Time running out. Minot doing the ruck work. Matthew doing the kicking. Inside forward 50. Hayes is there first for the Hoppers. Went one-handed. Penny was grabbed without it. Flynn Gardner won it for the Hoppers. Going through traffic brilliantly was yelling. Hand passes to Matt Wilson. Snaps and misses. Just across the face of goal. That would have made things interesting. Wodonga with a blemish. That's their first point of the day and it's taken to the 18th minute mark in this last quarter. 61 plays 75. Hoppers by 14.
Here we go. They got it in the back pocket through Brown. Searching for their fourth win of the year. North Albury. O'Sullivan came over the top. Archer Gardner got hands to it. Winter tried to get it to Dennis. Yellen came tearing through. Left foot, top spinner. Mark taken by Veneroni. Sends it in. Mark taken by Wilding. Okay. Now let's have a look. 75 plays 61 on the Work Like a Wangaratta scoreboard. We'll go down to you, Chris Mitchell, for Waters. Absolute must-kick goal, non-negotiable.
Yeah, absolutely. They sort of missed one directly in front before that they should have kicked, but this is a second chance. They're not going to get too many more of these. 19 minutes gone in this last quarter.
They've lost 3 games on the trot, the Bulldogs. They can't afford to lose this game today. Has Wilding got it? He has. He keeps them alive. So 75 plays 67. We've gone over 4 minutes on the Macca's time clock. Final term, Dan Vaccaro.
Oh, it's exciting up here, boys. He's very excited.
Getting a bit nervous, our man Dan Vaccaro.
I reckon I'd say you're a bit nervous, Panda. Have a look. Can they hold on, North?
Chris Mitchell, can you come up here and sort this out?
Yeah, we'll have to separate the two, I think.
Nah, look, North have been fantastic today. They definitely deserve to win, but can Wodonga pinch it?
We're Switzerland, aren't we?
So the margin is back to 8 points. 75 plays 67. Wilding's Second goal has made things interesting here. 11-1-67 Wodonga, North Albury 11-9-75, and a close one between Albury and Yarra as well. What a first weekend of the split round. Round 10 SSNA Ovens and Murray action at its finest. Anderson for North Albury gets a high free kick. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. He definitely lowered his head. The Wodonga Bulldogs bench not happy indeed. And Tom Anderson can eke a little bit more time off the clock for the Hoppers. Watch him go into slow-down mode here. They did it beautifully against the Rovers last week. They need a man up here, the Dogs, because Goody just retreats back to Cooper, right in front of our broadcast position. Inside his defensive half. Kicks long down the line. Minogue dropped it at the last minute. Dennis wraps up Johnson, but the Dogs, they emerge with the football across half-back. Mathy just kicks right down the middle of the ground. Big one-on-one. Wilson versus Azai. Gill in there as well. Hayden Cooper comes across and lends a hand. He missed his boot in the middle of the ground. Lots of players dive on this pill. Mathy comes in here. Ekes it forward for the Dogs. Big one-on-one. Jewel wins the football. Well done by Anderson, who went in there tough for North Albury to try and win it. And the Dogs, they're at half forward. Lots of players around this pill. Genuine desperation. King tries to kick it. Foster Gardner stayed down and he wins a free kick. Massive free kick and win here for North Albury at half-back. Not sure about that one again. And we have a free kick to North Albury. They lead 75-67 over the Dogs. 21 gone Macca's time clock.
Yes, so Noah Bradshaw running into Foster Gardner. And Foster's received a free kick. He's going to go lateral.
Every quarter's gone plus 25 minutes too, boys, so that'd have to be probably only 4 or 5 minutes left.
Here we go. Sends it down the line, the Hoppers. Out wide, rolling towards the boundary on the Alamein Avenue side, and it's gone out of bounds. Right as centre wing. 75 plays 67. The Hoppers up at Bunton Park, round 10 with Chris Mitchell, Dan Vaccaro, Blake Escott and Luke Francis on O&M Live. What a game we've had on our hands this afternoon. It's been an absolute beauty on Pink Ladies Day. In it comes to play. Johnson, nice tap down to Wilson. Got rid of his opponent. Bradshaw, that's Noah. He's been good today. Back to Johnson. Short one to Nugent, then to Johnson again. Sends it down the line. 20-metre kick to Mathy. Second bite took the mark. He's done well to just get back on the ground, this guy. Rolled his ankle badly. Into Johnson. So they got at the Dogs, but they trail by 8. They need at least 2 goals to hit the front. Gill's got it. Now he's about 75 from home. Sends it in. They need something out of this, the Bulldogs. Let's have a look. Oh, Jewel got hands to it, put it down at the back of the contest. Got swung around on the second attempt. Yellen puts it on the boot. Wants a centering kick. Now here's Anderson after it. So too Hayes. Hayes gets it. On to Anderson. Here they come, the Hoppers.
Anderson can just chip over the top and he finds Nathan Dennis. So Nathan Dennis in his own defensive half here for North Albury. Holding on to an 8-point lead. He kicks down the line and it stays in play for Tom Anderson. Right on centre wing, getting lots of advice from the North Albury bench. 75 plays 67. 8-point lead here to the Hoppers. Goody has it. And he kicks back to Cade. Pup Brown can't be long left. We've only had 4 goals in this last quarter for Apco Wangaratta. Broomhead has it. They've switched the footy here effectively, North Albury.
Been brilliant here in the last minute, North.
Trying to click the clock down, aren't they, boys?
Yep.
It's in the hands of Sam Azai. North Albury haven't won 3 games in a row since 2018. Haven't won 4 in a row at home for 10 years. It'll be a big win from them. They trail by 31 points. Julian Hayes has it. He's got Minogue at half forward. Doesn't win a free kick, drops it at the last minute. Goody in here for North Albury as well. Comes out to Matthew, who gets it on the boot and kicks it to half forward, but it's all Hoppers.
Here's Caden Winter at his shins. Gets it on the second attempt. Wheels around, does Caden, and comes its way to Hayes. Oh, professionally played in the last few moments here, Chris Mitchell, for Waters. They've been wonderful.
Just kept the ball really well, just playing keepings off at the moment. They're witches hats, the doggies. They can't get their hands on it, which means they can't go forward.
So frustrating for the Wodonga Bulldogs. And there's a siren. 4 in a row for the Hoppers. They win it here at Bunton Park in such an important round 10 contest. The Dogs are shattered. 75-67, North Albury have done it. 11-9 to 11-1. What a win. Dan Vaccaro.
Absolutely brilliant there by North Albury, and their last 2 minutes was even better. The way they were able to soak up the clock, it was almost as if it was a team that's been winning for the last 2 seasons, the way they were able to finish that game off. Really, really exciting times at North Albury. A little bit hard for Wodonga. They had a very empty bench. That was a gutsy last quarter, but not good enough today, Lukey.
Absolutely, Dan Vaccaro. So we'll have our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day coming up very shortly. Now, Panda, tell us the margin at quarter time, the first break today.
Trailed by 31 points, the North Albury Hoppers, and it was all set up in the second quarter. They kicked 5 goals to none. That's their 3rd win in a row. Can you believe it? They're putting together some fairy tale part of this 2023 season. Look at the belief. It meant so much to them. This club's gone through a lot in the last 4 or 5 years, and to win 4 games in a row at home. Look at the support here at Bunton Park. Biggest home and away crowd for a while, and they're believing in season 2023. Chris Mitchell is down there. I reckon Caden Winter might be our Watters player of the day. He was brilliant in the midfield, kicked 3 goals as well. He's looking for Caden Winter. He's got him. Chris Mitchell down on the boundary for Watters.
We must be good judges of best on grounds, I reckon, Panda, because we've got Caden Winter, outstanding, mate. What a mature performance from you guys. 31 points down. How do you feel after that great win?
We always knew we were in the game, and we knew we weren't playing our best footy, and we knew that if we could just stick it out and get a sniff, we'd be right there at the end, and that's where we won it in the end, and it was, really good.
It was really the scoring and the other end, but you managed to get a couple of goals in the second half against the run of play, and that really set it up.
Yeah, we talked about at half time that if we could really put our foot down in that third quarter, we feel like we could have won the game in that third, especially with that strong breeze going the other way. So we knew if we could put our best foot forward in that third, go a long way to winning.
A great win against Wodonga, the Rovers last week, and now a big one against Wodonga. Do you think of the F word now, finals, mate, or is that something that's going to come into the equation?
No, I don't think so. I think we just keep going a week at a time and hopefully take cares of itself, the rest of that stuff. So, yeah.
Thanks, Caden. Enjoy the win, mate.
Appreciate it.
Our Watters player of the day, Caden Winter, who's having a sensational year for North Albury, and a massive win in the context of the SSNA Ovens and Murray season. That is 4 wins in a row at home, 3 wins in a row in this SSNA Ovens and Murray competition. It's quite extraordinary what they're doing at the moment, Lukey Francis.
Yeah, gee, they've turned it around since last year, Peter. I mean, they certainly won a basket case last year, but the difference between Hoppers football in season 22 and 23 is just worlds apart. They've just improved so much. Great recruits in Caden Winter, who won our player of the day. Also Jack Reynolds. And
we might get our panel operator Campbell back in the studio just to try and get on the YouTube stream and
I've actually got it. I've got a score here, boys.
But we might try and cross to the game, is what I'm saying, Dan Vaccaro. So if we
68 to 83 at the
panel
moment.
Operator who can hear us down the line, wonderful technology. If he wants to get up the YouTube O&M Optus TV link, Albury versus Yarrawonga, we will try and bring that to you live here on 3&E after we capture the North Albury song. So a massive win here to North Albury. They hold on by 8 points, 75 to 67 over Wodonga. They're getting clapped off the ground here at the moment, the Hoppers. Caden Winter, our Watters player of the day. He was sensational. So score, please, Dan Vaccaro at the moment.
So the score at the moment is 10-8-68 to Pigeons 12-11-83.
Okay, so it's a 15-point margin here to Yarrawonga. And the Hoppers in the change rooms. This will be the 3rd time in a row they've sung the song. I reckon they almost forgot the words there for a while, Dan.
Well, they'd want to remember it today. That's a really, really stirring win there by North Albury. A fantastic game.
Here they go. Well done to the North Albury Hoppers. A brilliant win, and they move to 4-5. Extraordinary. Who would have thought that at the start of 2023 that they'd be 4-5 in season 2023 after round 10. And the Dogs, well, they've now lost 4 in a row, and they just need to get a win, Dan Vaccaro, it's fair to say.
Yeah, they do. The season's almost on the line now for Wodonga after starting the year so well, and a disappointing loss today. Probably not as disappointing as past few weeks with really disappointing finishes. I think that with a couple of injuries on that bench made it a little bit hard, and it was a gutsy last quarter.
Yeah.
But they just weren't up to it. I think North are just a really, really good side now, and I think we've got to start looking at them as... they're absolutely... there's no way they're easy beats anymore. They're almost a finals contender side.
Yeah,
so,
full credit to Tim Broomhead. He's got them playing beautifully, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he's leading by example as well. So he had 27 today, and he had 9 in the last quarter when the game was on the bench as well.
Yeah,
Getting a little bit of advice from a couple of
There's some of your fans down there.
Well,
Pete.
that's the better Escott,
fans.
I believe.
That is my old man.
Yeah,
actually.
I know you was. I knew you
Far better Escott.
That's it. Oh, that's good, is it? Is it? Okay,
It is. That's a
Peter.
great
That's
win. And
interesting.
as
We might have to put that on the scorecard questions for next
and
week.
As we just go back to the other game that we have at the Albury Sports Ground that's been covered by our other 2AY team is 10-9-69 to Pigeons 12-11-83. So Pigeons looking like they're probably going to get it done, Lukey.
How many minutes gone in the final term, Dan?
23 gone. There couldn't be too long left.
23 gone, yeah.
Probably
okay.
a handful of goals scored as well, so it'll probably go to 26, I'd imagine, Lukey.
Yep.
The old Lee Matthews idea is when you need to score more goals than
Goals to minutes,
it's all over.
That's it. Now, who did you tip in that game?
I actually tipped Albury.
Yeah, so did I. I went with the Tigers. Did you go, Panda?
I'm just getting a little bit of word back from our panel operator. Campbell, can you repeat that for us, please? We're going to try and bring you the last couple of minutes of the Albury versus Yarrawonga game.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
The
Thank you,
studio PC. We might cross to that game if we can on O&M Optus TV now. Albury versus Yarrawonga. This one on 2AY's O&M Live.
Oh, I can't start. I don't know. I can't remember how to do it.
That's okay. We're going to try and bring you the action when we can. But here at Button Park, a big win to the North Albury Hoppers by 8 points over Wodonga. And they trailed by 31 points, Dan Vaccaro, at quarter time. I mean, extraordinary comeback in the end.
Yeah, that was. And I really love the way that Caden Winter said, look, we were disappointed, but we knew that we were still in the game. And bad kicking in that first quarter, I guess they could look at that in a positive and say, we just need to come out and do the exact same thing again and level it up. And they were fantastic. For 3 quarters, they were faultless, almost North Albury. I thought Wodonga weren't even that bad. I just thought North Albury were really, really good. So that speaks volumes of how far they've come in this competition as well, Lukey.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. And look, if you just tuned in to O&M Live right now, the Hoppers trailed by 31 points at quarter time, and then they were leading by a point at the 20-minute mark of the second term.
Yeah, not even rushing into half-time.
Yeah, so they turned it around that quickly. And,
they did, and they can score quickly, and I reckon that's what's missing for Wodonga. I think there's absolutely no secret that Wodonga need a full forward. They always talk about Hudson Garoni, who is a Wodonga person.
Is this where you bring Nick Hines back into the team? You nearly got it, don't you? You've got to give him a chance again now.
From the outside looking in, you do, because he kicks goals. JT would dissect that in the fact that does Nick Hines do enough without the footy? And my answer to that is I don't think so. And I think JT is someone that really wants their forwards to work hard. Oscar Wilding, we talked about today, he had a really quiet day and he'd be disappointed with his performance, but the difference between a player like Oscar Wilding and Nick Hines is Oscar Wilding chased all day. He was able to probably halve contests and he got up the ground, where I think Nick Hines is a beautiful kick goal and he kicks goals from half chances, but I don't know if he might be the short-term answer, but he's not the answer for Wodonga. Hudson Garoni is the answer for Wodonga, and Wodonga know that, and they need him to complete their puzzle.
What about Josh Minogue? Now, what kind of player is he?
One of the best big forwards in the league.
Went into the ruck, did so much donkey work in there. He was fantastic.
The argument we have, and we have a lot of great forwards in this competition, the argument we always have, as we just see, Pigeons have won 83-69 at the Albury Sports Ground, so a great win for them.
Okay.
But as we talk about Josh Minogue, if he played in no disrespect to North, they're playing really good football, but if he was in a top 3 team, Josh Minogue, how many goals would he kick?
Yeah,
he would be up there with your Lee Williams and your.
At the same time, though, the delivery into him has been good.
It has.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break here at Button Park. If you're just joining us, the Albury Tigers versus Yarrawonga. Yarrawonga with a big win over the Tigers, and North Albury with a big win over Wodonga. Our post-game show for APCO Wangaratta on the other side of this. Remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.